Do the thing.
Maybe. I don't know. It's thinking. It thinks about whether or not it wants to go live.
What's up, everybody?
What is going on, everybody?
I think we're live.
Wait,
Oh, it is
uh,
Tuesday again. It
It's
is.
we're
Tuesday.
not live. Are we
It is.
live?
Yes,
It
we
doesn't
are.
say
Yeah.
we're live.
Well, there's an
We're
8
live.
second
We're
delay,
live.
and you're gonna see it in probably 5
I
seconds.
see. Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad. That's on me.
Yeah, it is on you. You know, you should know by now. But, man, we made it another week. It was a good week though. I don't
It
know. Do you
felt
guys have a good
long.
week?
It felt long, honestly.
Great week.
Like, yeah. Happy birthday,
Thank you.
first
Thank
and
you.
foremost.
Thank
He's
you.
finally a teenager.
Yep. 13 now. The big 1-3. You know what's up?
Oh, we got Vibes. What's up? We got Lars. How you doing, Lars?
Yeah, but
Oh,
genuinely, 21st birthday for this guy. So, St. Louis, buddy. We're gonna have to. What day do you fly in? Do you know yet? Is that a thing?
I ain't got no ticket yet.
Okay, that's what's up.
You know the team I work for. What do you expect? What do you expect, you know?
I don't know.
Timeliness? What the fuck? Who likes that?
why would we do
Why-
that? Everything
why
needs
would
to be
we do
last
that?
minute.
Hello, Lars.
Everything, I
What?
need to get it on Tuesday next week. You know?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, not bad. Yeah, better late than never, I think. Probably not.
no.
I'd rather, I think, never.
I will say though, the hype. I don't know if the hype is there for St. Louis, for me.
My hype is to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
That's all I keep thinking about is how I can't wait until it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, happy
man.
early. Nah, his birthday was yesterday, actually. So you could be happy early for next year.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Vibes, for the early 22nd happy birthday. I
There we
appreciate
go.
it.
Yeah, this boy can actually now not have to pour out a Modelo and fill it with water and drink the actual
Yep. I
Modelo.
can now, I don't got to get the whole team kicked out of bars in Utah because I can sit, or restaurants in Utah because I can now
Well,
drink
I
the
mean,
alcohol.
it's fine. The restaurants weren't probably that crazy anyway. You weren't coming with Bystrack and us. We're going to the fancy steakhouses.
Steakhouses.
Yeah. We're showing
Yeah.
up like pieces of shit covered in dirt. It's like, hello, everybody.
Oh man.
You're degenerates. Oh, Lars, you're going to be in St. Louis. Hell yeah. Well, I'm not looking forward to it. Not to not see you, but to be in St. Louis. I don't want to smell dog food. I don't want to be hot. I don't want it to fucking downpour on me. I don't look at the weather. I don't care.
The phone reception's always terrible. Like
I can't wait to listen to so many positive comments during a live stream. This view is terrible. This is like one pixel at a time. Yeah, I can't wait. You guys are gonna be awesome. I can't wait to hang out with you guys.
Oh man. Yeah, St. Louis is probably the worst when it came to streaming. I think there was like one position where it looked okay. But actually I think this year we might try on the roof for a little bit, at least one of the sessions. I just hate the
Honestly,
view.
might have decent cell service up there.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming we would. The stream might actually look solid. We'll just get one of those little like little mini tripods that wrap around things and just wrap it up there and just keep it up there.
Yeah, just leave it there. just run a really long wire everywhere I go. You'll always know where Herbie is. Instead of an orange flag showing up, you'll just see the wire dangling. Just charging the phone up there. Don't mind me. There's no wall outlet. Well, probably, but it's got to be tethered. Just gotta.
Right. No, I don't know. We're kind of figuring it out as we go. I mean, St. Louis is like, I don't know. It's like it's that point of the season where you're starting to get a little tired, and like you kind of need a good event to get hyped for, and St. Louis just is not the event, you know.
It's the complete opposite. New Jersey is supposed to be a good hype one, and instead it was a lot of trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, first and foremost is getting out there for some people. And arriving on time. Difficult.
Yeah.
But
Tricky one for some.
You know, St. Louis. I mean, it could be cool. It could be cool. That's all that we gotta think. It could be cool. We gotta keep our expectations on the ground, potentially even like a little
I don't know.
underground.
Chelsea punting Forsberg into the signs was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
That's
I mean, last year it was pretty hype despite the pain, and I think that's what it is. It's just the driving isn't bad, especially like when the pro guys show up. Like it is a good time to watch, but it's just standing throughout the entire day, zero shade. God forbid you sit down because then you might be,
you might become part of the ground. Well, and the other thing is,
or you just get yelled at by.
Yeah,
I can't say I don't have any analogies that wouldn't get us canceled right now. So,
but like the thing is too, like you're separated from everyone. Like in terms of like once you're on track, there is no way to get back to the pits, pretty much. And like so, the hot pits where everyone like puts all of their stuff is a 10-minute walk one direction. And then if you want to go back to the regular pits, it's another 30-minute walk all the way around, basically.
Yep.
Luckily, we have a car, but still, it's like...
Still pain in the ass.
It's still a huge pain to go from place to place.
The rules and regulations with media, with cars and stuff. And, like, you can, if I drove there, we could still really only use one of our vehicles. Yep. So, like, it's not like... I could just quick be like, oh, I got a fucking emergency poop break coming in hot. And it's like, oh shit. Well, Nate's in the middle of a fucking interview 15 mintes over on the other side of the track. It looks like I'm shitting my britches, It's like hold on for dear
literally.
Life. Yeah. So it's definitely my least favorite of courses to navigate around. Weather, everything. I mean, but again, like the driving is cool. It's cool at every track. You could just put them in a circle and it would still be cool. But
yeah, and Joe, it is Prospec and a pro weekend, so it adds in that extra day of pain for everything. But that's kind of what we're here to talk about. At least today is going to be the Prospec side of St. Louis. We'll get to the pro side next week. Because it's a little bit closer and maybe we'll have some news come out. But I wanted to quick hit at least the Prospec and do like a separate show for each one, because when we try to cram it all together as one, it's like it really, if you properly cover it, it really boils over into like 2.5, 3 hours, and it's just like, might as well just separate them if we can. And luckily, FD was
shout
nice
out Jay
enough.
Johnson.
Yeah, luckily. That was random. I had nothing to do with what I was saying, but okay. It's cool.
I was asleep. I didn't know when you were. I was just shout out Jared Johnson. Carl looks fucking great, dude.
Oh yeah,
that guy
he did. He did do the old.
That guy is going places. He is an incredible marketing wizard. It's not like he's doing anything crazy. He is being his fucking self. He is just taking who he is to.
It's such a novel concept, isn't it?
Oh, his car.
And well,
being yourself.
Nah, yeah.
Wild.
I mean, a lot of people seem to forget that you could do that anymore. But
right,
I'm glad that he didn't.
You gotta sell your soul to your title sponsor.
Yeah, it's crazy. People that actually, are gonna watch and view you would rather see the real you and not want to watch a stuck-up suit and tie fucking NASCAR from fucking 2012 sponsorship.
Yeah, he's Kyle Busch, not Joey Logano.
Listen, I know. All right, take it easy. I know you don't like.
Hey,
I like Joey Logano. All right.
We all have our preferences. Some are just incorrect.
Joey Logano.
You're with Joey Logano, but it's just like, as a driver, I don't really like. No, I'm not getting into this.
I don't see Kyle Busch showing up to an FD round, dude.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's big props for Joey for showing up. I just don't like how he races that time. This is multiple times. Forgot the S there. It's okay. But no, yeah, this looks sick. Is this like an homage to Jeff Gordon, or am I just stupid? It kind of
No,
looks like the DuPont car a little bit.
It does look a little like the DuPont car. I took it as like DuPont car, but then also literally like the T-shirts that they have on of just like kind of like just fun, like funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could be
Well,
completely fucking wrong.
I mean, old
I
school
mean, it looks
flames.
great.
I don't know what era of car it was popular, but this style of flame used to be like on a lot of
Big,
things.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
like the number on the side. It is a full blown NASCAR. Like
Yeah.
he went NASCAR. He's got the Dodge NASCAR motor in there. He's got just his way about him: freedom, USA, Eagles, all the
Look at
time.
his hauler. His hauler is so NASCAR.
Yeah,
It's great. I want that hauler.
that literally looks like it's going to Flavortown. It does look like it's going to
Going to
Flavortown.
Flavor Town, dude.
I think. And how many cats are on the roof of that thing? I think it's like
500
I thought it was in the thousand.
might be. I don't know. It's a
Or
lot.
he had multiple thousand entries for it. Yeah, that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Someone
And
took the time
there-
to do all this too. It was
there-
wild.
there's a raccoon and there's a couple of dogs in there. So, props.
Hey, you know.
I
Wow.
when I talked to him in Jersey, I told him, I'm like, dude, you're doing great. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then he did that whole like, send us a new cat, and he gained 1,000 followers overnight. It's like, yeah, dude, you're doing great. you're gonna be a great asset to this sport.
That's wild.
I think
dude.
so.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
All the way. Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
so-
check out the hauler. You gotta check out the hauler.
Does he have a picture of the hauler?
Yeah, scroll down a little more. Like his like intro to the year sort of thing.
Oh wow.
There it is. Look at that, John. Look at
Oh.
that.
That thing's sick.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It reminds me a
Yeah,
little bit
he-
about the European haulers. This one just looks like American because all the European haulers are like flat nosed, kind of like this too.
Yep. Yep. Who was it? Odie that recently put up a picture of one of the haulers I think that he was using this past weekend, and it was a bus. I was like, oh, that's what Nate was talking about. It's a bus.
Yeah, they use buses over in Europe. It's sweet. But
So
like,
good.
it's not to haul a trailer
Bus.
though. It's literally to put everything in the bus, like the car and
Yeah.
everything. That's the cool
Yeah.
part about it. So there is no trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. It's one and done.
They got Scanias. They can
So it's
haul
a
220,000
1985
pounds if they want.
Kenworth
Jesus.
K100. I know nothing about that, but it sounds cool.
Fucking maximum overdrive vehicle right there. If anybody's
Yeah.
familiar with the Stephen King classic, possibly one of my favorite movies of all time. But
That's fun.
sorry, neither here nor there.
All right. Let's actually get to the
Thank
event. Here we go. So
Ryan Hobbs still in the seating bracket. Sorry, buddy.
but he got points. And maybe should we look at the seating bracket first, or should we look at points first? What are you thinking?
Get some points.
We're here. All right, I was
Or
gonna say
not.
we're
Or
here.
not. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Oh, he's a quick switch anyway. 1, 2,
Yeah.
like a slopperoo.
Yeah, we're gonna go over points first because it's an interesting how they've like the seating bracket obviously is majorly more important with Prospec than it is with Pro because there's only 4 rounds. So you get a guy like Cameron Sorensen who's still kind of like up in 11th. Didn't get any points. Is he in seating still?
He
Yeah, he
Yeah,
dropped
oh.
back into seating.
Oh wow!
'cause
So he has a
he
chance to get
wasn't
another
in the-
like 12 points plus whatever. So he could be back in the race, no problem. Provided he has a good event. So it really highlights the point disparities of being able to do a seating bracket and the extra stuff that you get from it. You got Jerry Johnson up in 6th, and he's not going to be in seating bracket this round, but the 42 points he got from last round, which would be basically equivalent of getting 2nd, pretty much.
Yeah, a little better than second. Yeah, an
Yeah.
extra
Yeah,
2 points.
2 points. Yeah.
And he got knocked out in top 8, so it's like it's kind of crazy the drastic jump that you
4.
get, and now
Final
he's
4.
okay, so
He
yeah, it was
beat
Final
Alex,
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he he is now in contention for the finals, or not the finals, the championship
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
it, because of the seeding bracket. If
Yeah.
you take 12 points away, he's really not that close, you know, or even
Yeah, no.
what would it be, 15 points even. You take 15 points away, and then he's like, what, at 30? So he's down in the 10th point or in 10th place. So it is interesting. I'm like, I mean, my hope is that whoever wins the championship, and I feel bad for anyone that was in seeding bracket, that it's someone that wasn't in seeding bracket or didn't get extra points from seeding bracket, and the reason
I'd
they
say
got
as
that
long as
license or
they're not a
that,
rookie.
and the reason that they got that license is because of seeding bracket points. Because
As long
that's
as they're
gonna
not
be,
a rookie,
it's gonna be
because it's
real.
inevitable for a rookie.
Right. I mean, that's true. It's true, but it's still going to be tough to watch someone possibly get a pro license over someone else because of seeding bracket points when the other person
Yeah.
didn't have the opportunity to get that.
I mean, this goes back to
I think
Brandon's
I
concern
think
at
we
the
might
beginning
see
of the year.
something because I mean, especially the way Jerry's been driving. Jerry and Colin are two guys that I've been really impressed with that are rookies that obviously were in seeding bracket. Granted, Colin actually only got 3 points, so it's not a big swing for him. But that's 15 points for Jerry, and you know he's a very good possibility now that he's going to be in the running for a pro license, and a large part of that might be due because of those seeding bracket points, which guys like Nate Chen, Corey Talaska, Cole Richards, Dimitri Bruschi, even Cody Buchanan, like none of those guys had a chance to get those points.
Matt Bysek. I'm sorry, that sarcasm a little bit, but he didn't actually. This is his first round that he is in the seeding bracket.
I was gonna say if Matt wins seeding bracket, wins the event, he's right back in
he's up there.
Points.
Like
if he
fifth.
does that, I gotta like twirl my wiener around or something like that because I don't know. Everybody just shield your eyes because
but yeah, so but I just want to get that out of the way because it still bugs me. But all right, Hugh, Jangle, why is Brutski allowed to compete in pro and Prospec? Well, yeah, if you have a pro license, you can compete in Prospec. So any pro
I think it's if you're ranked below 16th, I think is the official rule. If you're ranked below 16th, I may be bullshitting. I don't think I am.
I didn't know that.
I think I read that somewhere in the rule book. But maybe it used to be like that, but I remember seeing it like back in the Pro 2 pro days when like Jeff Jones would run both, like Ryan Littoral would run both. It was like if you're 16th or lower in pro, you could run Prospec.
Yes, Pro you would 2. Pay for registration for both as well, Joe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's just looking for a little bit more seat time, and this year ultimately he hasn't chalked up his pro season, but now he's really just trying to get that championship win one last time for Prospec. He wants to really shoe in his one son, which, win or not, I mean, I'm excited for the next generation of Bruschi. Honestly, like I don't hate him being in both, but you are good, dude. You only lose in pro because it's like by like inches at this point, not even like so. It's like you really don't need the seat time. It's his pro chassis hardly ever stays together, which is unfortunate. It's not anything I don't think he's doing. It's just bad luck, and So I look forward to hopefully maybe he just gets out of Prospec and we get another 15-year-old, another teenager in the
maybe we get a father-son duo next year. You know,
which would be sick.
Cool.
It would be very sick.
But his son's his spotter right now, and he plays Clash of Clans while his dad isn't driving and everyone else is going in the spotter's tower. I see him on like Brawl Stars and shit. I'm like, okay, dude. It's like, all right.
Oh, that's funny.
Get it.
That's great. Nate Chen says sponsors like podiums too probably looks better to be on a podium in Prospec than to get knocked out on 32 in pro. I mean, that's also a valid reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, also the hard part is I don't know how much winning actually gets you sponsorships.
At
At
this
least
point, it depends. I
at
think it
least on the
depends what
Prospec.
sponsor you're going for.
Yeah, I think it
And
depends on the company.
yeah,
You got
Anything.
your old time companies that love to see that they don't really like their social media is probably fine, but their idea of like being a content creator over somebody who's just a proven winner is like they'd like
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
respectfully, some of these companies have the social media of a 60-year-old grandma on Facebook, so it's like they don't really care if you're an influencer or not, but
right.
if they care if you win. So
Yeah. So like,
Yeah,
and then you got to think like there's so many different things when you're working with drivers and stuff. Okay, what events are you driving outside FD, and then or do those get attention? What other vehicles do you have? Or do you sell product? Do you have a business? Like there's so many different other elements that, at least for example, when I work with Link, that we take into account, where there's a lot more synergies in different areas as well. But podiums are great, but again, if no one's seeing it, like not saying that no one watches Prospec, but like a Prospec podium is miles away from a pro podium in terms of viewership and all that kind of stuff as well. So that is also something to kind of just point out. But I get
yeah.
it. I mean, I feel like also getting some wins underneath your belt when all you're doing is getting beat up in pro is kind of probably good for the morale as well.
Oh, 100%. And Vibe said winning gets you your sponsorships, and Jelani is also in the chat. Hello, Jelani. Depends who the sponsor
Lonnie.
is and what the product is too. Which, like, ultimately, like I said, winning is not going to hurt, but just some companies would rather. Would you rather sponsor somebody that's only going to get 1,000 views, like when they make a
Yeah.
post
Well,
over the
here's a
weekend, and they're
perfect
going
Yeah.
to
here's a
win?
perfect
Like
example. Okay, would you rather, not saying Colette will never win, but would you rather sponsor Colette or Dimitri?
Yeah, like
yeah, Colette.
I would pick Colette.
Like look at like two companies you can compare. I guess is like what Herbie said. Nitto. They sponsor three, four drivers who have
Yeah,
big budgets, big teams who are like capable of winning. And then we have Tire Streets on the other end. They sponsor LZ. He wins, but the majority of their marketing dollars goes into influencers and
yeah.
previous drivers who took the content creation route, like Denofa and stuff like that. So it really just depends on where the company's going, where they're looking to allocate resources and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Denova did both. He just happened to podium
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
be great on the camera. So
Yeah. I mean, you look at, I guess, other examples of that camp like Grant Anderson, Nate Hamilton, not really
yep,
podium, but great business, great at content, that sort of thing. So
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Jimmy Oaks, like, all those guys, all the YouTube stars right now, literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's a tough balance, but like you said, it does depend. Um, but that kind of brings me into, okay, let's look at rookies first. Halfway through the season, who's kind of shot out to you that's impressed you? Sure, Jerry Johnson's the easy answer probably because he's the highest. Um, I think personally, I think Collins looked really solid as well, um, and will be a problem in future years. I think.
this is kind of a tough one for me
You know,
because I think that I wasn't expecting those guys to honestly suck. And it's like I can't
Yeah.
even say Brian Hupp because I didn't expect him to suck either. Same with Cameron. Honestly,
yeah,
this is a tough for out
Who
of the rookies.
shocked me? I knew Jerry wasn't gonna suck, but
Yeah,
I didn't think he was gonna do this good either. Like he's like, I think he can get top three this year, like easily. I if I was a betting man and I had if I had a gun to my head and I had to bet all my money that I have onto a driver to win FD Utah Pro Spec, it's Jerry Johnson. For Utah, okay, the dude's winning, but like he's been killing it. He's like my like big shocker because yeah, I knew he wasn't going to be terrible, but I didn't think he'd be the form he's been on recently has been incredible.
Yeah.
So,
So I think I'll go with, honestly, for good driving, not really shocked. All the rookies that are here are, are honestly shaping up to be everything that I expected them to be. Even Brian Hupp, I expected him to be timid, a little nervous, but then also shine. I knew that he was going to have that little bit of a rough patch with the mental side of things. But I think my number one on the opposite end would be Ferris, and I hate to say it. As like if we go back to the beginning before the season started, especially for Prospec, I would have got all in on Ferris, and it looks like they're still trying to figure out car setup, whatever it might be, and he's not as fluid and consistent as I genuinely thought that he was going to be. There's mechanical issues he's been facing, the whole nine, and yeah, I didn't expect that out of that side of things. So sorry, Ferris. I love you. And I
Well, it's
do.
just
I know it's not any. It's not.
well, it's just
It is.
experience, and he's a well followed driver. Again, we go back to the he's not that he's an influencer, but he has a very large following. And obviously that probably helped him get into Formula Drift, but he's also a very accomplished driver, just in a different discipline. So
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I like it because it shows how difficult drifting at this level is, and I think it highlights how interesting, like how different road racing is, and not everyone can just jump in a drift car and be competitive. Especially, I mean, I think it highlights how good Robert Thorne was when he started,
Oh,
and
yeah.
how impressive he was when
Oh,
he
that guy
first came
comes
in.
back. He wasn't like last year. I think it was really just not to go off topic, but it was, in my opinion, like his form during qualifying or not qualifying. I guess practice was fantastic, and then like battles would come, and then I don't know what it would be, but it just kind of fall apart a little bit. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate to see.
He always said that he was just like he had to dial it back, but he didn't know how to dial it really back.
I don't think he should have. I think he should
Yeah.
just put his wiener on the table and let it sing.
He definitely
He
gave
should have
his
done.
workers a lot of work often.
Yeah, yeah,
He,
Right.
which I mean, good thing that they came from road racing, so they know how to work under some serious pressure and basically probably rebuild a whole car within a short amount of time. But yeah, I would love to see Robert Thorne come back here.
Yeah, I mean, he was, I think, one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car, with Irwindale last year.
yeah.
And
Yeah, and I think his entry year had some not so highlightable
he made
moments.
some some rookie mistakes. I would
Yeah,
say his rookie
I,
year.
I think it was all car setup that they were trying to go through too. And
Mm,
even though Paris is like pitted up with Matt Field, like that's a completely different animal of a vehicle. Field, like yeah, they could take
Yeah,
some off of that thing, but like
completely
yeah,
different suspension setup, completely different
yeah.
everything.
I mean, Jelani
and
makes
just
a good comment here. He's like, I think dudes who come from circle track make the best crossover for drifters, and that makes
yeah,
sense because they're drifting half the time. Uh, and you have that pedal control. Obviously, Jelani knows this guy. This brings up Garrett Denton when he drove, and
yeah,
how good he
Yeah,
was for the limited experience that he had. Or, I mean, Telasco, I think did circle track as well, and for him, it was always the mental side. He could drive, and so he's kind of showed that he's grown into that as well. But in terms of rookies, it's been interesting to see the different tracks as well. So you got someone like Colette who really looked like they were struggling in Atlanta, but really did some really decent driving in New Jersey. So
yeah.
you see different drivers that are going to be better at different tracks, and it'll be really interesting to see because I think Utah is really going to separate drivers
hmm
um, at the
Throttle
end of the year.
commitment, bigger
Hmm.
flicks, and trusting the process of body roll and that
Right.
whole nine.
Although I will say, uh, I was told that Utah is changing. but I don't know what that means. So we'll see how they're changing Utah.
One more time. Let's keep it going every year. Let's do it
Yeah.
every year. Let's
So-
just not be consistent. Who needs
Well,
consistency these days?
Maybe we'll just be reverting back to the first year where it made
I'd be okay with that.
sense.
Or
Yeah.
the second year. Second year was great too. You know?
I like
Right.
the first year with the inner clip on outer 2.
It's
I,
prompted for runaway games. I like to just the long outer too.
or just don't
Yeah.
suck in a chase and then you won't get ran away on.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Bring
I don't-
back the fucking run up. Yeah. Honestly.
Bring back
Yeah.
inner clips. Hashtag bring back inner clips. Oh, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna bring back the first inner clip, but you got to be 6 feet off of it.
Yeah, you got to be in that box.
There we
right?
go.
So-
Yep. Nope. Yep. We got it. Nailed it. You got to like
there we go. Do
initiate.
Utah in reverse. That'll be interesting. You got to go up the hill.
Hey, that would be fire. Diego did it. Diego Higa did it during seeding, and he like drifted the whole track backwards. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. We're never going to get it because everybody has said it until their faces turned purple since the first year, so it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone
fine.
want a new track, right? Why not
The
just
sun's out of the eyes. Like, for the most part, you still get sun in your eyes going up to the outer
Right.
2, which is now, but like not on a transitional point where it's pivotal into the rest of your run.
Bro, we got helmet visors. What are we talking about? Visor on. What are we doing?
You can't see when the sun's hitting the smoke, dog. Come on,
I'm
you can't
joking.
see shit.
I'm joking.
No more zone going over a rubble strip. No, they're gonna
Nope.
actually add a curb now that you got to jump. Up.
Yep.
They're gonna add a jump. You just gotta jump over the curb.
Yeah, literally, you got to hop the curb. It's gonna be you got to hit the oops real quick. The white girl
The
special.
whoop section. Yeah, you gotta go onto the rally cross track and then come back on. You laying up.
Oh man, can you imagine just adding some sort of jump? That'd be wild.
We got the Joker line happening,
Yep.
and you have to take it's on the dirt. Well, you have to take it before you hit the final 4, and if you don't, then you get a black flag penalty.
Is that right? Huh?
No
Yeah,
points.
that's how it would have to
No
be.
points.
No points.
All right,
drivers
so
took the Joker lap. Well, never mind.
Yeah, it's called the Dusky line, and it's by track.
Oh brother, it's let's quick go over just changing subjects because we're going off topic here. I do want to hit. Let's go top 30. So or closest within 30 points. So that's the top 7. So that gives you Dimitri Bruschi, Cole Richards, Corey Talaska, Nate Chen, Cody Buchanan, Jerry Johnson, and Josh Stewart. Who are you picking as your 1, 2, 3 finish out of those? Not saying it's going to be them, but I'm just saying mathematically.
Not going to be them. Tell you that.
Had to be a cutoff, you know.
Wait, Jerry Johnson,
One-
Josh Stewart, or who?
The top
Top
7.
7. I'll go Nicole Richards, Jerry Johnson, and Cody Buchanan. Top 3. There we go. Is that possible? Hold on. Let me look at this freaking bracket. Let me see if that's even possible.
Stop doing math like that.
Hold on. I gotta be
We're
realistic
just
here.
spitballing. I'm gonna go Dimitri, Chen out of Chen, and Jerry Johnson.
All right, that'll be fun.
There we go. Oh
I
wait,
think,
no, that's
I think
not
Cody's
possible.
getting his license this year. I think he's been kind of chill this year so far. I think he's coming back. And I think
I'm gonna
he's getting a
go- I'm gonna
license. I still
change
think
it.
Dimitri's winning, but I think Cody Buchanan's coming back.
I think Cody could get his license this year. He's been stupid consistent.
He usually is, and that's how he's always in the mix. So I think
Yeah, he's
he'll
just
do
been
it.
top 8 all year. Great.
But
Top 8? Now you got a top 4.
I mean, the thing is with the point system, like it does keep things kind of close, but like we were saying earlier, like there's once you have a bad event, like you're pretty much out of the
Still.
running. So as you see, pretty much
Yeah.
everyone you've either had to win an event or be at least solid for both, and or do really good in seeding bracket and boost your way up there like Jerry Johnson. So there is always that extra way to get up. I'm telling you.
I think Cameron Sorensen got shafted this last round. Well, he did get shafted. He had a mechanical up against his sister. And
Yeah.
I think that he would have beat
You think
him
it was
in-
rigged? It was rigged. That's what happened.
I think it was rigged.
Yeah.
I don't think it was absolutely rigged. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know, man.
No,
It sounded like team orders to me, is what it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
team
like
orders. Hey, don't
fucking
just
sister
forget to
way.
plug in that sensor real quick, okay, bud?
Yeah. Or not get hit by him and as all right, everybody. Take it easy. Okay? He's not purposely trying to T-bone people out here. If he is, he could go a lot harder. I hope if he is, he's got to step it up.
Yeah.
Really take him out. Yeah. He's hitting him out like a 20%.
Everyone's shitting on Jimenez. It's like dude's not doing it on purpose. It just happens, you know.
End
Yeah.
up pulling brake lines, probably.
Yep. What
Carolina
was the
having
issue?
easy.
Like diff or something? Something broke. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Travis is here.
Joe's saying
Oh.
Cameron is gonna have an easy seating this round. I don't know what we're talking about.
The chat was asking about Travis too, actually.
What's up,
There he
Travis?
is.
He can't hear shit. He's coming through his
Yeah,
RTR
I can hear you now.
F1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sort of. You want to flip it on its side? That would actually make my life easier.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. I'm in a truck. So let me try to position this in a nice
Oh.
way.
I don't let him know.
Are we on the way
Truck.
to the gym? Are we on the way to the gym again?
No, I'm at the
No.
shop working on my girlfriend's Corvette, and I'm ready to drive it off a cliff. But I think we got it done.
Here we go.
welcome to working on cars.
Yeah, dude, it's the best. Yeah.
Everyone should do it, right?
Yeah, you should make it a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just kind of talking about Prospec and stuff. Obviously, you spotted for Ferris last round. Just kind of obviously you were able to watch, a lot of the other Prospec drivers and stuff. Kind of going through. Can you see the list that is on the screen, or not? I don't know. With your phone,
Probably yeah.
Probably not.
fucking quarter inch.
I
like
can't.
quarter
It's
inch.
it's like a little tiny strip.
Okay,
But
so
am I centered
I'm
in
gonna
the
read.
screen? I'm trying to prop stuff up here.
Oh, good, brother. All right, so I
Yeah,
want to
we
All right,
get
sick.
your kind of first off. So these are the rookies so far this year. Just your top 4 rookies. I'm just curious on who's impressed you the most out of the 4. You got Jerry Johnson, you got Colin Zielinski, and then you got Colette Davis, Cameron Sorensen.
I mean, I think for a list of rookies, I think all of them rip for sure. Cameron obviously did really well, like first time out the gate in Atlanta. And Jerry drove really, really good in Jersey. Haven't been able to see much from Colette. Obviously, she got ramrodded into the wall. So, but I mean, I think it's a solid roster for new people coming up. I love I love that Jerry Johnson sounds like the most NASCAR driver of all time.
100%.
And rolls out with the
flames.
with the cab over and the
Yeah.
flames, dude. Pretty sick unit for sure.
I mean,
But,
the thing is, we were talking about personality. Like, the personality is just perfect for this, And I feel like the sport needed a version of him in drifting, because I don't know if we really have something that's that close, to NASCAR, really in the sport so far.
I don't know. It's just very like everyone obviously has their different personality, and I like
Right.
that there's a variety of people no matter what in Prospec and Pro, and obviously that's like the beauty of drifting in general.
Right.
You get a little bit of everybody. So it's sick. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that shade.
It's
Sorry,
still light
it's
over there.
hot
That's
as
the
it's
funny
hot as
part.
shit here, dude. It's like 90 degrees. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
fun. But yeah, well, welcome to
but
the
yeah,
show. For those you don't know, it's Travis Reeder, the Walmart greeter, speed reader. Got any other names? Always
I
forget.
don't know. Jared can come up with when he's had a couple beers.
He doesn't drink anymore, dude.
I was supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's just like how I tell
Yeah.
people I stopped drinking, but it's only Yangling.
Nice.
Yeah.
You quit until the next time.
It's yeah, exactly.
No,
right.
just beer. It's too many calories.
Ah.
Oh my gosh. That's great. But yeah, so I mean from our perspective, I thought Colin has been pretty impressive just on the consistent level that I've seen from practice and stuff. I think that's been really cool to see. Jerry Johnson is a guy I personally didn't know. I heard about. So I was quite impressed because I hadn't seen him drive personally. So he definitely was ripping. In terms of, so we then also just went through like the top, was it the top 7? I was just curious, out of these drivers, who do you think is winning Prospec? You have Dimitri Bruschi, Cole Richards, Nate Chen, Cody Buchanan, Jerry Johnson, and Josh Stewart. Any of those names kind of pop out at you?
That's the top. Like, so am I predicting who's gonna like come out on top at the end of the year?
Yeah, so that's like who I said is like the general chance at winning the championship.
Hmm. Let's see. Cole drove super good at Jersey. And he on the box at Atlanta?
No, he got
No.
10 points in Atlanta, so he had a rough round. But he's in
got
second
it.
with
Oh,
60.
yeah. Got
Dimitri's in first with 70. You got Corey Talaska in second as well. Basically, Corey Talaska and Cole Richards swapped events, basically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So I actually didn't watch much of Atlanta because I was working, and I never went back to watch it.
Yeah.
I was doing like double duty grid life and doing those
Big donut
Mustang
guy.
demos and everything. Yeah, dude. I did like I think 400 laps at that little
Jeez.
parking lot that weekend. But based on what I saw at Jersey, as much as I dislike FRSs, the like new WiseFab stuff must be working well for them. But it seems like both those dudes, Richards and
Chen.
Johnson,
And Jerry. Yeah.
Richard and John. Yeah, I mean Nate was driving good too. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's 2 rounds in and anything can happen, and we're coming into we're about to be at the worst track known for drifting in the history of the world. So anything can happen. Anything can happen in St. Louis. It seems like it's always a random person that wins St. Louis, like not a normal person, because it'll click for one person and everyone else just hates it and is just like fighting for their life to make it around the track.
Right.
And so you never really know.
I think it's a BMW
I don't know,
track.
dude. I think it's a whoever can figure out how to not die track.
Yeah.
And whoever's the most lucky and doesn't get totaled out in outer zone. What is it, 4 now?
Yeah.
In the last turn, whoever doesn't get totaled out by someone coming in too hot trying to be a hero, that's usually how people's weekends end.
Right.
Dude, St. Louis is just going to be, it's just all luck. And it's I hate saying that because obviously like I'm a big proponent of like making your own luck and like preparation and everything. But like that track is literally like, you have to get lucky a little bit at least because the place is such a mess when it comes to like the flow of the track.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean
they're
Jeff
taking
Jones
that
plowed-
first wall out, which is, a plus.
Yeah.
Took the first wall out.
Yeah. That's good at least. I know
That's
Yeah.
one less 50.
One plus. There we go.
That's one less skateboarding trick that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm also like, I don't know, the last time I drove there I got punted off the track by Jeff Jones. Just got lost in the smoke behind me and just like slingshot into my left front and like drove me into the
Well, it's the
like
same thing
jumbotron
that
trailer
Jimenez
pretty
did to
much.
Colette.
Oh, yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so dude, you really never know. Like they should have paved outer zone 2, like that turn. I know how they like broken into the grass a little bit. They should have went all the way to the oval, because at least you would have had like a big sweeping right-hander into a more natural left-hander.
Yeah.
It still chops the car off so much, and it's like, I say this all the time, like you can't have a track in drifting. It has to be fast to slow or fast to maintaining. You can't go fast to slow to fast again, because you just asked for someone to get ran into. You can never like, you create the like accordion effect in traffic, right?
Yeah.
Because you get someone that's like faster, then they slow down, they're scrubbing, and then someone lights off for the next person, and then they get rolled, and then they're trying to catch them, and then that person's slowing down, and then the chase car's still trying to catch them, and then they're locking up on the brakes, trying not to crash into them to slow down again, and it's just an absolute nightmare. So, oh no, dude, we'll see.
Does experience matter a whole lot? Because you can't practice this track in real life.
No, and it's terrible on the sim too. It's just as
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it just, like, dude, even FD knows. They're like, I know it's not ideal, but we're trying our best. And I'm like, I know, guys, but like, bring the grandstands back in for the road course. How about that? Like, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty sick.
So what do you tell a
But-
guy like Ferris that
I can give him, I'm going to give him my wheel speed, and we're going to try a bunch of different strategies as far as shifting, because that another thing that's poor about that track is you can either leave the car loose and drive it like a dickhead and never shift, or you can shift and have the car a little more gripped up, but you have to downshift to upshift to downshift again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it's like you can be second to third out of the chicane, and then you're down to second, and then you're up to third again, and then you're down to second, or you're second, third, fourth to third to fourth to third.
Yeah.
So it's going to be whatever he's comfortable with. I'm going to leave the car loose, and we're just going to focus on literally just hitting our marks. And like, that's all you can really do. Like, it's hard. Even in the sim, this track doesn't prepare you. So
Yeah.
like, we're just going to play it by ear and just do one thing at a time, use the same strategy as I had when I was there, and see if we get lucky. That's really all you can do, because like, the track is so unnatural. Even if you've been drifting your whole life, it's unnatural.
Yeah.
So it almost is a level playing field, because he is still learning and gaining experience as quick as we can get him to gain experience. And he's doing really good. Like, we had crazy progression in New Jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether he agrees or not, I saw a lot of change, and I think we went a lot in the positive direction in getting him acquainted to the car. But the equalizer is, even guys that have been drifting for 10 years come to this track and they're like, oh, this sucks. So everyone's on the same playing field, I feel like.
Right.
You know?
And
So,
and like you said, the mechanical side is so intense because there is so many incidents here. There's so many walls to hit. And like you said, that last corner every year is always carnage, especially the last couple battles. Like, it's just nonstop. And, it makes the sport interesting, I guess, but it's not very fun, like you said, to drive. And I'm curious to see where things go this weekend. We are going to kind of hit the actual seating bracket for Prospec and kind of look at some of the battles and see, who do we think possibly is going to have the upper hand for these battles. And then we're also going to ask the chat, as always, do a little poll action and see what the chat says as well and have some fun with it. But I'm just first curious, because I don't know if I had the chance to ask you yet, the seating bracket point system. How from fucked to totally fucked is that point system?
I don't even know how it works still, dude. I don't care to look into it. Like, it's just like, it's like when you get that really long text and you just reply with like, I'm not reading that novel. It's like,
Too
I'm
many
just like,
words.
dude,
I ain't reading it.
Yeah, and I like because we obviously like we lost in the seating bracket at Jersey.
Yeah.
Ferris did. We had it one more time, which he drove really, really good. I think he drove better in his seating bracket than he did in his 32 battle, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, oh shit, we're out. That sucks. Whatever. We'll come back next time. But then I had people call me like, hey, a bunch of people are crashing out, and you guys are only like going to be like fifth or sixth in line to like fill the bracket. And I'm like, just tell me when we're in. I don't even want to look. I don't want to look at it. So I just like text Ferris. I'm like, hey, we might be in, might be out. I'll wait for the call. Like I have no idea how it works, but
Wow.
I don't know. It seems really complicated, and I'm like, if we're in, we're in. If not, then we're not. Like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't keep up, dude.
understand.
I just
Right.
work here. I don't know.
I just
Yeah.
work here. That's
I'm
great.
just here to make you drive better.
All right.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this poll started. But yeah. So first battle. I know Herbie, and you might have some good insight on this one. You got Hop versus Cameron Sorensen. Talk about a tough battle off the bat here.
It's gonna be pretty even. Hop is a great driver, but the problem is Cameron doesn't give a singular fuck and has zero regard for the real world yet. So zero fear. He's just gonna drive and do what he thinks he knows what to do, which he does well. And Hop is going to, I think, overthink a lot, and I hope that he doesn't, because I'm a big Hop fan, hometown guy. Yeah, so I think this is like a 50-50, but more honestly leaning Cameron.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I hate to say it, like I think
Because
when Hop
neither
is
one of these
on-
guys has driven this track. So
Yeah, I think that's like Cameron's definitely at least driven it on the sim. Hop, I don't think has any access to a sim, and Cameron's been to this round. I think Hop's been to this round just to spectate, but Cameron's been, I think, multiple years now, and he's just a sponge, and like his brother rips, so. Yeah, and it's all in the mental, genuinely, I think, and I think Hop is breaking out of that nervous shell a bit more. He's just having a little bit more fun. I mean, especially like he really broke the ice, I think, when he fucking put the brakes on poor old Jerry Johnson on the reset at the line. Like that. That's kind of like humiliation and like a damn. All right, here we are. Like,
right? Yeah.
we're in, like, we're in FD. Holy shit! I can't hop quake anymore. So
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this might be one of the better battles of the seating bracket. It's going to be really interesting to see, because
I
obviously
hope so.
we've seen how Hop drives, and we already know how Cameron is going to go.
I hope Hop wins. I
Yeah.
truly do, and I'm glad that he is first number one seeding.
Yeah.
Also, now just realizing that Bystrack is 15th, and I will fucking off.
Yeah, that's why I was
myself.
texting you, dude. I was like, it's win or
Yeah.
lose there, dude.
We're really
Yeah,
getting hot dogs.
Yeah,
I might
yeah.
actually get
That's
a
what I'm
hot dog.
saying. You're gonna get sent to the hot dog stand, dude. You gotta
Yeah, now, but I hope
lock
physically,
in.
I want a hot dog. I don't want him to just drive to the hot dog
Yeah.
stand.
It'd be a crazy transition to see if Cameron does lose, because he's out for the event. Then that would be kind of crazy to see, just the highs
Yeah,
and lows of the
that's
good old
step.
drifting sport.
Definitely a big point adjustment if that were to happen.
Yeah, because
True.
just to verify, Cameron is in 11th, obviously in the hunt for, which is crazy. He's 11th, but he's in seating bracket, which makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it goes by the event, just from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But Hop
He-
Hop had the best lead runs at Jersey, hands down, by anybody in Prospec and most of Pro, to be honest.
really,
So he just has to kind of reel it in for the chase side, and kind of like he kind of got ahead of himself
I mean, you
in
tell
the
me.
chase, and
It looks like the car is really gripped up, but you can tell me if I'm wrong on that.
yeah, it's
Oh.
definitely super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Chelsea's setup in the car. Chelsea's in the rear the whole time. So, like, it drives exactly how I would expect it to drive. Pulling the front tire off the ground, narrow track width. It's got a huge front bar on it. The usual, like, very common setup for a low wheel speed, like, nitrous V8 car to, like, go fast. It's the same as, like, I would set it up. It's the same
Yeah.
as Chelsea would set it up. Like, it's super quick and super responsive of a car. I think Hop just has to gain a little bit of patience in the chase and, like, really breathe before he, like, drives in. I think that's kind of like his Achilles heel, but also, like, Cameron will just, like, write shit off trying to win. So you never know.
It is true. It is interesting because the chat went 80% Hop over Cameron, so there's a lot of either
Yeah.
Hop
I think
fans in here.
Well,
I mean-
I still vote Hop, dude.
Yeah,
It's
still
like-
vote Hop.
it's so. I want the boy to win. I know what he is genuinely capable of. I've seen, like, at fun events, like at all the Club Loose events, or just like going around to Grid Lives now. Like when he finished building that car, and it wasn't the full Chelsea setup yet, but it's a proper mobile. Like, he has zero regard for anything. He knows he could get, like, he'll fix it, whatever. And he's a sick driver. He always has been since the day I went to Club Loose. I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And he was driving a piece of shit. Honestly, he's had very many renditions of pieces of shit, but yeah, I'm going Hop, man. I'm going with my heart.
There we go.
Going with your
And
Hop.
Going with my Hop.
There
Hey,
you
I'm
go.
going with my Hop here.
All right. I also
No,
want to give a
it's
shout out to
terrible.
Joe
It's terrible.
with the $20 in hot dog money. I appreciate that, Joe.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Big
eating
dog.
a lot of dogs. I feel like in St. Louis, whether it's dog food or something. So,
Well, we don't
Smells
gotta
like
go
dog
far
food.
for that.
oh man, no, I appreciate it, Joe. Shout out, Joe. Thanks for always supporting the channel. We have a new poll up, and it is Justin Ruth and Ryan Kaufman. And Kaufman, if you guys don't remember, he is in the FC RX-7, and Ruth is in the yellow 350Z. Two rookies that I think are looking for a win, so I think they're going to be able to finally get some points on the board, which is, always a win in anyone's book, I feel like.
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffin's taxi garage, man.
Yes, that is
Yep.
correct.
Mm.
I appreciate the challenge that he put himself in trying to make that car work.
He keeps it, like, I think, easy to drive. It doesn't seem like it's on kill mode.
Yeah.
Not, like, ultimately too fast. Kind of just floats around, hooks up a little bit, but it does also kind of seem like bite him in the ass a little bit here and there. He washes out a lot. I think he's oversteered quite a bit, spun out a little here and there. But Justin Ruth, dude's not the prettiest car. I'll give you that. But
McDonald's car. McDonald's.
definitely not the finest mobile on the track. But it's not the worst looking going around. He's getting it around.
No,
Yeah.
and I've seen him drive at multiple events, and he's done well in the past. So I know he's a consistent driver. I'm curious your thoughts, Travis, on trying to make an FC work in FD.
In
I think the
2025.
odds of an FC are better than an FD.
Okay, well that's
The
that's it.
suspension, I think the suspension in FC is better. They just
Okay.
are very, like, short wheelbase and a little twitchy, but they aren't the worst. Like, if I say this all the time, like, any car is spring rates, sway bars, and alignment away from being like 90% of the way there. It
Yeah.
all comes down to, like, little nuances on what, like, makes it work for you and your driving style. But, like, FC is not the worst chassis. It's
Yeah.
just not very commonly used for whatever reason. But
Probably
they're not
rarity,
bad cars. I
yeah.
think, yeah, I think he's better off in that than something exotic or, like,
Right.
different. Like, there's, like, a new Edge Mustang out there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude seems to wheel it pretty well, but I know those, like, the steering on those and the Fox body is not ideal, and at least his is still live axle, but I know the IRS isn't, like, the best on those. But I think he's better off in the FC than like a new Edge.
Interesting. Yeah, because Adam's been wheeling that thing this year, apart from when it went into a wall last
Mhm.
round. But
Yeah,
we can go
definitely.
past that. That looked painful.
It
But
happened.
Yeah, at least is that car still live, Axel? Do you guys know?
I don't
don't
think it
know.
is. I'm pretty sure it's independent. I thought it was.
It
I
has
can't.
the,
I
like-
know it's got like a custom built subframe for the
If it's a
quick
subframe, it's
change in
not
there
live
and
axle
stuff.
then.
And
So okay,
What?
yeah. You're talking about for the Mustang.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's got the whatever IFS stuff
Yeah,
or
yeah.
IRS stuff.
I think it's independent, and it's. I know I talked to him about it. I'm trying to remember. I know it was like a one-off sum frame almost to fit the quick change and all that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's not very common. I know, like I'm a big fan of leaving a live axle car live axle. I don't know. Four link make car go fast.
well,
But
Chelsea makes it work, so that's for
Yeah.
sure. All right, just a quick look at the chat. Chat says 75% Kaufman over Ruth, so that's an interesting one right there. Next battle, who do we got? We got Cody, sorry,
There you go. Nailed
Yeah.
it.
Cody Dempster and Brian Wills. Honestly, like a guy like Brian Wills was like someone who I was kind of like high on this year. So I'm still kind of waiting for that breakout event from him, you know? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know what happened to him this past event, honestly. I forget. Does he always just have mechanicals? Because I just feel like he
Man,
just
why-
kind
I
of
think he had something.
You're right. It was a
I
mechanical,
forgot.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I always
because
feel like
Cody's car was
these
also
rounds
broken.
he fade. Yeah, I feel like he just fades out like a very quiet whimper.
Yeah, because he didn't even make his battle, and then Cody came out and the car broke as well.
Yeah.
When he was
Yeah.
doing his buy run. Now that I remember that.
Yep. Yeah, so
I know there's a
mean,
while back where that's dude the S14, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
S14
the
big
blue
one.
wing.
The blue one.
Yeah. I remember there was an event that he was ripping, like doing pretty good. I don't know
Atlanta.
if it was like towards the end of, was that this year or last year?
Last
Atlanta?
year. Or at least I
Yeah,
remember
last year,
Atlanta,
Atlanta.
he was wild.
Yeah, gained a good amount of momentum there, and then I just didn't really see anything
Yeah.
after that.
he throws down. Honestly, he truly he puts together some pretty sick laps, but then it's just a few sick laps. That's all it ends up being. I feel like, and then right before comp, there's always something that goes wrong with the car or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you
Very
know,
strange.
the funny part is both of these guys are challenged with car issues. Same with Cody.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
that I don't know if that guy's gone through an event this year or even Prospec or his rookie season, like where the car worked the entire round. So,
Yeah, he's definitely on a one-way ticket to Struggleville with that mobile.
So-
Sucks. But
Well,
yeah.
no one builds simple cars anymore, dude.
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
right.
yeah,
You have to build like a simple and reliable is like the most important thing, especially in Prospec. If half the battle is just if you can consistently make it around the track without the car braking and be mostly online the whole time, like you can win battles. Even if in the chase you're like 2 cars behind the lead car, if you're online with them and matching them, even if you don't have proximity, the odds are they'll just try to like drive up on you and be cutting the track and being shifty anyway. So if you
Yeah.
just do a good lead run, like you'll win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The consistency between the driving and the car, you don't even have to like run people's doors until you get like up into the 8 or the 4 that
Yeah.
you have to like start to like push it all. So you should be able to go rounds without going crazy. But yeah, obviously the car has to stay together to make it there. And
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
you know, perfect example. You got Cole Richards and Nate Chen both taking away superchargers off their car and just
Yep.
going NAV8 roads. And
Yeah.
now look, they're top of the standings. You know.
yeah, well, I mean, why do you need all that? Why do you need all those belts and all that weight and all that heat and all that shit?
All that shit.
You don't
Yeah.
need any of that.
No,
Yeah.
you
Sounds
just
silly.
You just
on
need
a
to put the foot to the
255.
floor and send it, and make sure
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
it stays
Also,
there.
I'm like, this is the one thing that I was helping Ferris with too, is because like his car, he's nitrous V8, so it's very similar to like a setup that I've driven and a lot
Yeah.
of guys are going to now. So I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna take all the wheel speed out and just give you grip. That way you can just be foot to the floor. And some people are like, oh, they like the wheel speed to be able to pedal it and flash the tires. But I'm like, especially at a track like that, like I want you wide open on the throttle, so only adjustments you have to make are the steering wheel, not on the gas pedal. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to remove a variable of the driving by making it to where you just have to put your foot to the floor, and I'll just change the wheel speed to make sure that you don't have to worry about the gas. Like, I just want you to be on it the whole time, and then if you make a correction, it's all on the steering wheel and on the handbrake or whatever. That way, like, you're not hitting the bumps and like doing the like on and off the gas, and then the car does the pendulum, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then you look like shit. I don't want that. So
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot lately, and a lot of these guys that make like 800 wheel or whatever on the 255 and have 140-mile-an-hour wheel speed at the Gambler track is like, those are the ones that like look really inconsistent, and then the car's like also complicated, making a bunch of power, and
Yep.
they're over there like chopping the throttle, blowing the tires off the whole time with a really like uncomfortable to drive car.
Right.
See, Brandon, I knew I was on to something, dude, with my low wheel speed. Because I'm
What did I do? What did I
you
say?
you bump it up. You always tell me to bump that shit up, dude. My
On the
Logitech ass
sim?
I can't handle
Oh,
that. I gotta
yeah.
just be mad at, dude. I have my throttle. It's set only 60%. The
Hey,
thing has to be wide open.
I'm smooth, so I know what you're talking about. All right.
Yeah, I don't have. I'm missing 40% of throttle input.
Hey,
Well,
figure it out. That's all
the
I gotta
interesting
say.
thing is chat's at 50-50 right now on the win. I need one more vote to
Vote the other. Oh,
sway
wait,
it.
I already voted. Oops.
Chat out of chat in the chat. You don't. That Magnuson blower blows, is what he said. Hell yeah.
I guess he's not. I guess he's not sponsored by Magnuson anymore.
I'd have to say probably not. So yeah, I remember he definitely had a lot of issues with it last year. So
I mean, I know it's cost him events. It's cost
a lot of people.
Cole events. It's just one of those things where it's always, and it's amazing still in pro how like casually guys change belts. Like it's just like a routine thing now. They're like, oh, we lost the belt that run. We're just gonna put a new one on. It's like, this is like the third one we've replaced this weekend. Like what? Like it's
You're
normal.
like, why did the belt fall off? Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
why did it fall off? And they're like, we'll just put another one on it. And you're like, that sounds like you're not getting anywhere productive at all.
Literally buy strikes like like this belt should make it through at least like practice. It's like, what do you mean at least through practice? What do you mean not through the year? And then you change it just because like it feels good to change the belt. Like
I mean, the way I see it is like, how many miles does the serpentine belt go on like a everyday car?
Yeah.
Like 80,000 miles, right? Is that probably the average?
100,
Yeah.
We'll say
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
We'll say 80, and then we'll cut it, and then we'll even cut it down to 20% for a race car, right?
Yeah.
So 20,000 miles. And 20% of everyday life, 1/5. And at that rate, the belt should go about 50 seasons of Prospec. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, okay. So on your NAVA setup, what size belt or like how many ribs was your belt?
Just standard 6, like whatever
Yeah.
the factory size LS stuff was. So I had like just off the crank pulley around the alternator up to the power steering pump, and then one idler, like one little like idler tensioner guy. But I don't think I ever put a belt on that car. Like 3 years.
Damn.
I might have put one on. Oh, I had a power steering pump fail and shattered the belt and made it all kind of fucked it up. But it was because the pump seized and like did a burnout and like hurt it. But
Yeah.
like I never had a belt like wear or just jump for whatever reason. So I guess the FD cars had 2 belts.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
like you are a testament though to the reliability of doing like an NA setup, and I'm curious to see because we were kind of getting like a little horsepower war going on in Prospec. Everyone was coming
no
with
reason.
900 wheel, trying to send it, and we've seen a couple guys this year's kind of step back with doing the NA nitrous setup. So I'm curious to see if we're
Yeah.
going to see more of that in the future. Because it really does make sense. I mean, if you're not out there making laps, then you can't win. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it's easier to have like way too much in Prospec. You're just overkilling it. Now you're just melting the tires off and not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, and I even forgot Jerry with
Yeah.
the NA. He also guys NA engine. It's
Yeah.
the NASCAR
Mhm.
one.
Yeah. All mechanical.
Yeah. Maybe that's the new
Yep.
Prospec wave. NA nitrous V8, not NA nitrous. Nitrous V8 FRS. Maybe that's the wave, you know. Everyone should build
I
an
mean,
FRS.
hopefully not FRS, but you know.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
It is
I mean, like,
crazy that 3 of the 4 top 4 in Jersey was an FRS with a V8 with nitrous. Just
yeah,
coincidence.
that was just the jam that weekend, dude.
Yeah.
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 But
All right. Well,
Short and
I don't know, dude.
Well, how about we switch it
I
over to
made
some
like
S
850
chassis?
in pro, and that's it.
Right.
It's as much as I made.
850?
Yeah, 850 at the tire is like the most I ever made in pro. I might have made a little more at like an Irwindale one year when I put like the big jet in, but it would have been like 900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It worked. You
yeah, it
weren't-
worked enough.
Yeah.
It was underpowered for my car for sure, but like I made it work.
Right. Well, speaking of, let's go to S chassis now and talk about Shelly and Casey Cole. They're up next in their battle. I mean, I don't know who's had worse luck this year. But hopefully, you know, what I'm asking for is both of these cars to come out unscathed this year. I think Casey went hard into a wall, and then didn't he blow an engine in Jersey?
Yeah, and then he drove Bystrack's car that was really
Yeah.
only tuned for like 530 horsepower, and then he just had to quick get it re back up to the 800 range and was not ready for it at all. That poor thing was heat soaking like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, but he gave him a car. Thankfully, he could try, and then he
Yeah.
crashed that too.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know,
made me
Yeah, I
giggle.
saw.
It made me
I
laugh.
saw like no laps from him, and then obviously the laps that I saw from Shelly, she ended up upside down. Not her fault, but
Yeah.
not exactly ideal.
To be honest,
But-
Shelly's actually been really impressive this year. I've been impressed
Oh,
with
her laps were good, dude. She was ripping
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
So-
sure.
I think this will be a good, clean battle. Hopefully, Casey's usually not the one that's causing the problems in terms
That's
of.
typically pretty good. And when he has had a solid mobile, his own chassis under his ass, I mean, he's been driving pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's
So-
always driven well in practice. It's like, can you put it together in the comp? Has always been my thing with Casey. So, I'm curious to see what the chat's saying here. Chat is saying 56% Shelly, so that's interesting.
She's got a great spotter too, though. I mean, Olaf, or coach, I should say. Olaf rips,
Yeah.
that dude.
I mean,
So
it's just been cool to just to see what she's been able to do on track, because I had never saw her drive in person, but people were telling me she was good. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's not the first person that I've been told that has been good, and then they get to this power level or this grip level, and then they're just not used to it. So it's actually been really cool to see her transition, and so I would think, and I would say she's been thriving. Like, I've talked to her outside the car and stuff, and she's just having a blast. Like, she's having a good time, keeping it loose and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll here, and Shelly wins at 59% over Casey Cole at 41%.
sheesh.
That
We'll see.
yeah, I know
Pretty-
it'll be interesting. All right,
Pretty 50-50.
next up we got your boy, big old
Jace
Matt.
Habich.
Oh
Yeah, Matt.
man.
That's right. I forgot about him.
You know, Jace is another NA nitrous car, so you know it's gonna work.
Tried and true chassis right there.
Yeah, good old
Yeah.
S13.
Yeah, you've had
Right
some
from the
battles with
man.
that
From
chassis,
the
haven't
man.
you, Travis?
Yep. Yeah. I've beat that car a couple times, and that car's beat me a couple times. So back in the day, it's also been into a massive tire, very hard at Evergreen, and totaled, and then probably totaled a couple more times since then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Well,
I think
luckily,
Jace has fucked it up a little bit, right? A little.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I mean, he brought
crashing
it
Yeah.
with
back from the dead though. Like
Yeah.
it went to the tire wall at Evergreen and got folded in half
Okay.
from the dude that Dylan sold it to.
Okay.
And he like got kind of like messed up because of it. Like it pushed the door bars so far in, it like pulled the floor up, moved the pillars. Like I'm pretty sure Jace cut like a lot of that car out and welded like pretty much a whole new side of the car in, and then repaired the cage. But yeah, it was pretty well written off. So the fact that it has a second life is good in general.
Yeah, and he's really
But
starting to figure it out and become more competitive, honestly. Like his last year, I think, right? It was his first season.
yeah,
I
last year's his
Yep.
rookie year.
took me sadly until Utah to actually know who he was and just remember him by the fact that okay, that's Dylan's car. Dylan's car is Jace. Okay.
yeah,
And sadly, that's how I had to remember him. But he's made more of a statement. I mean, shit, he kicked it. He beat Alex right last year in a seeding bracket at Utah. I think it was. Was it Utah? It was somewhere. He beat him.
Somewhere. Out of nowhere. Not Utah.
Uh,
That was Chris Leonard who beat Alex at Utah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I
Good
mean, Jay's first
old
bias track, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna suck if bias track gets kicked out because it's just gonna suck. Uh,
yeah.
that's just how plain and simple.
Right.
Um,
Well, I mean, the thing is, you know, has he been practicing more in the Mustang? Has he been?
Oh,
goes
yeah.
this, he goes this week
Yeah.
again. Get more seat time in. Unfortunately, he was trying to get JTP to fly out, but JTP is still working on Dion's car, that Mustang that he put together for him.
Yeah.
So he's a little busy with that. So he's just gonna go and just get some seat time in alone. I don't know if Scott's gonna go out there or Moose or anything, but he's definitely. I mean, all in all, I don't have high expectations for him this round. Really don't. It's
is that car at the weight minimum or is it super heavy?
it is 3,100 pounds, 31 or some. It's
I thought it was
it's right over.
32 or
Yeah, I think
33.
it's 32 with him in it or something, like mid 32.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
so
a big guy.
300 pounds over what it could be.
Yeah,
That's the hard thing about the Mustang thing, dude. Like they naturally don't have a lot of mechanical grip already, and then on top of that, they're so heavy that it's hard to like on a 255. It's hard to make it work.
yeah, yeah. It's all Anderson composite. He didn't change. He has the roof for it, but he hasn't replaced the roof yet because he got it wrapped, and then he was just a lazy piece. Not really lazy, but honestly, at the time, it's like I don't want to spend any more money, and the car wasn't going to be used, so he just wanted to get
Yeah.
some seat time in it, get a feel like, is this actually going to work? Do I have a chance? And Atlanta was rough. Come and find out, it was super out of whack of an alignment, and then he looked honestly pretty good in Jersey until he made a mistake that he didn't make.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, until it literally wasn't, and then just he DB'd. So shit happens. I was pumped that he didn't fucking waffle the car off into the wall. I was like, honestly, out of everything, that was the least disappointing thing that you did to me all weekend. The most disappointing was you didn't want to do video when I had free time, and that you didn't do practice on Wednesday when I was sitting there with my thumb up my ass on the backtrack. So fuck you for that. But yeah, I mean, the car's big, and it's still on the electric power steering. So I don't know how he is going to genuinely react to such quick transitional movements. Like, I don't know if that car is going to want to like rotate on that like dime, like where it needs to get into outer two. Or, well, I know it's eventually it would, but I don't know if he's going to do the means or have the means to really fight for it to do that.
'Cause I feel like the
Um,
Mustangs
you
barely
have to
fit in
force the
St.
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
you really have to
Yeah.
force it, and like watching that, like I know he knows what to do, but at the same time, like when push comes to shove in that heat of the moment, like panic happens, and I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, once you get in a groove though, of driving a car like that, it becomes second nature like everything else though. Like I believe. Like
yeah,
when I go do the demos with Ford or Vaughn or whatever, and I'm driving electric rack Mustangs, like at first I'm like, oh yeah, this is unnatural and like total shit and whatever, and I'm like learning it, and then by the end of the weekend, it just becomes like I'm like, oh, this is the style that I have to drive this car at, and then you
yeah,
get in a groove, and then I'm like, oh, I can do this. This is not a big deal, and then I can make the car do what I want it to do pretty easily, especially like I've driven their demo cars, Vaughn's demo cars, and they have like their Fun Haver kit. And I've driven them with the Fun Haver kit and the uh, hydraulic rack, and I've also driven them with the Fun Haver kit with the electric rack.
okay,
And they feel pretty similar, other than you just have a little bit more numb steering feel with the electric rack, but like you kind of almost have to still do the same movements because of the Mustang geometry. Like
yeah,
you
yep,
still have to like you're it's never going to transition lock to lock for you. You can't let it drive you. You got to drive it. It's very much like you tell it when to transition, and you have to turn the wheel like how you would expect the car to transition. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
yeah,
it'll give you a little self steer, but once you get in the habit of just like like steering the bus, like you can still do it quick and you can make a change direction quick. It's just a different driving style you have to get used to, is all.
I as this might be completely fucked off and wrong, but I told him, I was like, dude, honestly, you might be able to learn a lot and drive that car better with a terrible sim like the G920. Like, because it doesn't have a
Yeah.
lot of self steer. You have to just you have to know and remember and like kind of just take in the information of like, all right, this has to happen,
Yep.
and make it happen yourself. And like maybe that's wrong. I mean, it definitely isn't right, but like
I mean, I
it's
don't think
not
it's
similar.
wrong. Before simulators were simulators, I had like a G25 set up a long time ago, like when they first came out, and I would drive like Gran Turismo
Yeah,
with it, and me and my buddy Austin would always like set that thing up in the living room, and we always use the what was it we always use the Shelby.
the GT500 thing that they had going on. I
No,
always
it's no, just a straight up um totally blanking. The God damn it. It's like the convertible bubble fender like
The
to
Cobra?
yeah, that
Oh.
thing. And we used to
hell yeah.
always do that because it had like crazy steering angle for whatever reason, made a ton of power. And we just made the settings work, and yeah, we were school busting it around all the tracks, but we got to the point where like we could consistently drift any track like
Yeah,
legit. And you know how it had like the little shifter attached to the hub of it, like to the
yeah,
base?
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it would just be we would do upshift because it had paddles too. So the upshift and downshift would be on the paddles, and then we'd have the downshift as the handbrake. Like we'd change that to handbrake, and we would just it had so much power we just leave it in whatever the top gear was. But I mean, we could link tracks. I could link any track with that thing, but there was zero self steer, not even the slightest bit. Everything was done with your hand,
yeah.
and
Just feeling it out.
yeah, and we figured it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it benefits a little bit, obviously, depending on what you were to drive in real life, but even
Yeah.
then, it's still teaching you hand-eye coordination and just the tools of like how to actually do things.
Yep.
But Yeah, sorry, Bystrack, though, going back to it. I don't think that you're going to have a good time. I hope that you do. I have good vibes for you because you have been driving a lot more aggressively this season. Truly, a lot more aggressive. But overall, S13 with a V8. Nah, nah.
Still St. Louis, dude. You never know.
Yeah,
It
you
is
never
St.
know.
Louis. It could go on luck. He got shafted last year. Bad luck. I
Yeah.
thought he beat Dustin Miles fair and square.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Jelani asks Travis, "Where's Old Red at?"
I sold it. I'm assuming my S13 is what he
Yeah,
means.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I sold it to Ferrari. He has it. He's in Seattle. It's getting a 1J and some other stuff, so it
Oh.
actually will live on. But it got evicted out of my buddy's field because it was there for like 4 years or 5 years or something, growing moss, and he was like, "Hey, this thing's finally got to go," and I was like, "All right." So I offed it, but yeah, I went to Zach, and Zach's gonna put it together, and when he's done with it, I might go try to like drive some laps in that thing just to feel nostalgic. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
still alive, just not by me.
Yeah, no, it's I remember you guys battling in your S13s, and it was funny because you had very similar looking cars, with the cut rear bumpers and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and
Yeah,
it was
same
just
kits.
yeah, it was sweet. It was sweet. And like this pretty similar motor packages and everything. Like the cars were
Yeah,
drove very similar.
they were actually almost exactly the same, which was pretty sick. So
Yeah. Good times. Back when times were simpler. Back when you could get with it.
yeah,
Yeah. Get away with that.
yeah. I think I had five. I think I made 650 wheel on the bottle.
Yeah. And you made it work.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What a better time.
The
Yep.
good old times.
Oh, it was funny. I went to Drift Masters. I don't know if I told you this, Travis Mondello.
Oh yeah,
And
how's that?
I saw so many other chassis there because you don't need as much chassis grip there. So you saw a bunch of, because you don't see an S13 anymore in Pro, in FD,
Yeah,
because it doesn't have the chassis grip. Well, I saw all kinds of S13s. Saw a bunch of like weird things like the wagons and all kinds of different things, and they were fast because of the tire over there.
Yep.
So it was a fun experience. I was like, oh, and the cars looked easier to drive.
Yeah.
Because of
Well,
the tire.
Maybe I just look at it as like the tire can band-aid a lot of bullshit, and you end up setting the car up so weird because the tire's so gnarly. But look at Connor and how fast his car is in Drift Masters and how not fast his car is here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like definitely a struggle, and I know that probably frustrates the shit out of him. But it's so much like you could go to Drift Masters, and I feel like you could be in anything and make it work.
Yeah.
Because you just have to have like the slightest bit of like chassis knowledge, and you could be in. I mean, look, like James is probably on a gnarly tire now, and like he's making the Mustang work over there, and it's much bigger than.
Well, the
most
thing is,
cars
if you
in the
watch
field.
the Mustang, if you watch his Mustang from FD Drive, and then you go watch his Driftmaster car, they drive totally different. Like,
Yeah,
you see all of the squat, all of the three wheeling, all of the chassis motion to get all the grip out of the car in FD, and you go watch his runs and Drift Masters, and the car is just so much more planted, and it just looks easier to drive.
Yeah, what tire is he on? Did you see?
Bellino.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
That thing is so low too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just a totally different way of competing over there. But I just thought that was interesting. Let's see.
Yep.
Next battle is actually your buddy Ferris going against Carson. Carson also hasn't had the greatest of years. I don't think. I know did he lose an engine in Atlanta? Can't remember.
Kept blowing belts.
Blowing belts.
Blew a belt every lap. When the burnout box just blew a belt. go back, fix it. When the burnout box blew another belt.
Oh, sounds like stuff we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This
But,
is another.
I mean,
250 guy,
I'd
right?
rather be 200 horsepower down than have a belt that falls off.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
But
true. But yeah, buddy.
what
So
car is that again?
that is
I'm
the
not-
E92.
Logistic E90.
That's right.
Is that
Oh yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Did he run into somebody?
Yep. He did. He caused the kickflip.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. a
Oh, that's
Chevy.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
understeered.
Caused the kickflip.
Yeah, understeered in there. I
Yeah.
You know,
you
you'll
know,
have that.
another guy that I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he's struggling with the power and the grip, and setup and stuff for this year, just compared to probably what he's driven in the past. So at
Car
least
looks
that's
cool.
from the limited runs that I've seen. I haven't seen a ton.
He drove that car in
runs.
Prospec last year.
Did he?
I'm surprised. Yeah, but it was no hate on the Drift League, but it was the Drift League, and
Yeah.
we got 12 drivers who do it each year.
Right.
No hate, but
Yeah.
it's a big step to go from one of the lesser known pro-ams into FD Prospec off the bat. So
Gotcha.
Is that an LS car?
yes, I think it's a 6.0 with the
Yeah, LS with a blower.
blower. Yeah.
But it's also that E90 chassis, right?
Mm-hmm. E92.
Yeah, so it's got E92.
E92.
Yeah, with the interesting suspension on it.
Yeah. The not
Does look
trailing
cool.
arm.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it looks great. It's just
I'm a
great.
big fan of E92s. Minus that they don't drive as good. Come to find out.
yeah.
I just
They're a little round for me. A little round for me.
Okay.
I like the boxes. I'll
Blake
take my
Olson's
E36.
is all time.
Yeah. They look cool. They're just like, I drove one that was like a 328,
Yeah.
and I compare everything to like the E36 form,
Yeah.
right? It's like a 328 E36, and I drove that thing, and it felt like it was a 4-cylinder version
Okay.
because it was
Wow.
like much heavier and made less power than what an E36 would. And I was like, oh, I just can't get behind it unless it's got like a motor in it or something, unless it's like swapped or an
Yeah.
M-car or something. But Dylan bought one of those. He's got a 1 series or a 2 series or something. I think 1 series. It's like a 128i, and that thing's same thing. He like drives it, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, it feels like this thing is like missing half the motor. It's so slow." I think it's just that year of like whatever their I don't know if those are N50, N55s or something. I don't know what the motor is technically, but it's like the next generation of
Right.
whatever their stuff is,
N96s.
and they were
Yeah.
they were very like
N52, I think.
very controlled. Yeah.
But I'm curious to see. The chat's pretty confident in your guy over here. You got Ferris winning at 67%. So
Yeah.
it could be an interesting
Yeah.
battle.
Well, that's a plan, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing
We got
is,
a
like
good
you
we got a
said,
good setup. So
yeah.
I voted for him, despite the previous outcomes.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like you said, half the battle's just getting around the track in one piece.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hitting
Yeah.
the marks.
We're making progress, dude. Like the alignment on the car last round of Jersey was like not fully ideal, and we made it work and made some changes. And now that he got it to a rack and got the setup in the car that we kind of agreed that would be better off, I'm excited to see how it drives, even though like it's going to be uncomfortable to drive here regardless. But I'm excited to hear his like steering feedback because we changed a bunch of stuff in the front end to help better suit how like he wants the car to drive. So I don't know. I'm pretty confident that we'll have a good weekend. So
It was cool to hear that he actually had because he knows what to feel, but coming from the race car mind. But when I was on front track and just he had input for you guys and wasn't just like, well, this he actually kind of knew what that he wanted or what it wasn't necessarily doing, and that was cool. He's not
I just
dumb
have to
by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have to teach him like 10 years worth of drifting in a very short,
Yeah.
compact amount of time, and then also
Yeah.
break habits of road race.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's, I would argue that it's sometimes harder to teach. Like if I got someone at the school when I was teaching at Park in like the Chelsea V36s, I would rather teach a student that couldn't drive a manual car. Like I'd rather teach them how to drive stick and teach them how to drift than teach a guy that's like, I've been road racing for years. I'd rather take the guy that couldn't drive a stick any day of the week, just
Wow.
because like they had years of like habits in driving a car that don't cross over and are sometimes complete opposite of what you want in a drift car. So the fact that like Ferris is super receptive to what I have to say and listens and applies it really well and gives me good feedback is like, that's half the battle. So that's where he's going to progress faster than most, I think, because he's willing to like open his brain to do things that that he thinks are like uncomfortable and unnatural because of his prior habits. He's willing to throw that in the garbage and like start over and
Yeah.
let me like tell him what to do, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants more gold medals, number ones.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we did bring up how impressive Robert Thorne was for how little that he drove and how good he ended up getting, how quickly he was.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, hearing that just probably makes it that much more interesting to hear how good, because his rookie season in Prospec, he made some pretty obvious mistakes, but he was competitive.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up getting his license his rookie year, I'm pretty sure, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe it was his second year, I can't remember. But like, you know, just you could see he drives differently though than other drifters when he was
he doesn't drive like a drifter. He drives like a calculated road race guy. Still different.
Yeah.
And like, and I had originally like given Robert some like setup advice at the beginning when it came to like how I set up my car and how I liked the car to feel. And even though we had the same chassis, he didn't like my setup at all. And he ended up going completely like opposite, which is totally fine. But it's one of those things where like someone can have all the same hardware, but based on their habits and their past, they can't like do the same things.
Right. It's interesting to hear.
So
I mean, because he made the car work. By the time like he left FD, he was like a problem. You know.
Yeah, he was nice.
Which is really interesting to hear.
Yep. And yeah, like he originally started with like the whole like SLR setup and big front bar, like all the way that I would set my stuff up, limited wheel speed, all that kind of stuff, and then ended up going complete opposite. Rear bar, less front bar, wise fab, like more wheel speed, more tire pressure, like completely like 180, and he was more comfortable in the car that way. So I was like, all right, like that's your style. Then it works. If that works better for you, then then dope.
That's funny.
So.
All right, we're almost through these battles here. We got two
come
more.
Here, buddy. Hey, come here.
Doggy.
Come here. He's like stuck in the corner right here. Come here, dum dum.
That's funny.
Chilling out in the AC.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's got his toy.
Toy.
Got the toy and everything. Let's go. Oh man! All right, let's hit these last couple battles and then get to some predictions here. All right, we got DJ Stubstad and Jack Davis. Kind of surprised to see Jack Davis in the seeding bracket. As a guy that's been pretty consistent over the last couple of years, top 10 and stuff. So curious to see where he goes. DJ also has been looking a lot better this year.
A lot better.
The car works, so that's half the battle.
That's half the battle.
Right. But Jack is a guy that I'm kind of waiting on to have a good round because he hasn't had one yet this year. And usually he's getting a podium at least once a year, if I remember.
He does seem to find his way up there at least one time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Alex, dude. Just waiting on him to do his.
That's
Same with
LSE36 as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Supercharged.
I know the cars. I'm not as common on the names.
Yeah.
I'm
Same.
behind the times.
DJ's in a
Same.
350Z. It sounded like a tractor last year.
Still kind of
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It's all black. It's got
Yeah.
the 3 spokes on it.
His exhaust literally hangs on the ground the entire time. I don't know
He's
how.
from up north, I think.
Yeah.
From like my area,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Well, it's actually, if you remember, it was the Ryan Literal car from Power Stop or whatever, or it was CoreWorks. It
Oh,
was the
that's
Yeah, the
CoreWorks
that's
car.
what car
Core
that
Works
is?
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chassis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's
Huh.
I don't know
It's
what
always hard to
hands.
believe it because it's just flat black with like a couple of
With
stickies
white
on
wheels.
it.
Yeah, with some gold stickers on her.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
funny how some of these
Cars get
chassis.
disguised though.
Yeah. It's funny how these
Uh,
cars just make it through.
Italian job.
Yeah. All right, but we're gonna keep on getting through here. We're running low on time already. It's crazy. You guys just keep talking. It's great.
Yep.
So we have Jack winning at 56% on that one. The final battle in seeding is Adam Heichman and Sam Mamugi. I don't.
What the hell was that?
Mommy.
What was that?
Meg Moomy.
Magamumi. Momi. Sorry, Sam. Quick thoughts on those guys. Probably one of the more interesting engines in the FD, along with
Yeah. It's 54 the wrong direction, or I guess the right direction.
Yes, straight up and down S54.
Straight up.
I think if
mean,
Magnumi
I think
could
I'd
just
go-
figure out like consistency, then I would go
Yeah.
with.
I think.
But I
I'm not
I
gonna lie.
don't
I've been really impressed with Adam. So I mean,
Yeah.
Adam's
Yeah,
a
me
guy that I
too.
think is gonna contend at winning this seating bracket.
Remind me of the
Sam,
car.
Adam's
think
the Mustang.
New Edge.
the new edge,
New Edge.
yeah.
Oh, the new Edge. Yeah. He was driving
Wall
good at Jersey until he
Dirt dropped.
got
Wall-
sucked off track. Yeah.
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 He wall hugged
Yeah.
Yep.
in the wall hugs new edge.
Yeah.
More of a slap, but yeah.
Definitely,
Similar.
definitely like a full frontal kiss.
Yeah.
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 That looked
I think he wheels that thing a little more consistently than Sam from what I've seen in the past. But
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Sam has the car now. Ever since Shanahan drove it at Irwindale last year, I think that car got a serious like makeover to whatever the hell was going on with it.
Yeah.
It's now
It's
just
just-
a
it
it's a
still
driver
cracks
mod.
me
I
up,
think
though,
now.
that car has made it to a podium in FD Pro. But it just kind of shows you
Yeah.
how much of a cheater chassis E36s are.
Shanahan ain't no force to be
car.
reckoned with, though. Too, you know, like that motherfucker wheeled that thing.
Yeah.
He fought tooth and nail to get to that position. Did you remember his first few laps in that? It was
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't even link the
oh
track.
Lord, he's gonna write this thing off too. Oh, poor Sam was just sitting there like, here we go. Here we go.
E36 best car, dude. It is the best drift car ever created. I'm convinced.
Yeah, they're super easy to drive. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you guys had to pick a seating bracket winner, I mean, it's kind of tough to read for obviously you, Travis. But I'm thinking, I mean, the winner's probably for me is coming from the Hop Cameron battle on the other side, and then on the other side, I really like how Adam's been driving. So
Damn it.
but there's also Jack Davis, who's probably going to be a good battle with whoever if he does get through as well. So I don't know,
Yeah.
you guys.
Number 15 looks pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. You got Matt in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. If he could keep it on track, I think he could do something.
I'm curious to
So-
see how fast the car is. I'm just curious because we haven't really seen it stretch its legs, really.
There's no
Yeah.
leg stretching.
They got no legs to stretch. That's the only issue. I don't know. Whatever they're doing, I won't say much. I have opinions. I'll keep them to myself.
What's your
Yeah.
opinion?
It's just, I just don't know what direction to go in setup. That's all it is. It's just like, what are we doing? You know, it's like, are we making it loose with more wheel speed? Or are we making it tight with less? Or are we running a lot of toe, not a lot of toe? It's like, I don't know, you know? I also don't know much about Mustangs, so my opinion also doesn't matter there. But it just,
You need like
it
a
just,
an inch deep spacer on each side. That's what I learned from all the RTR cars. These
apparently.
giant spacers.
He's a
I don't know.
big
I
set of
think,
That always cracked me up. Do they? I don't know if they still run those giant spacers. I just remember looking at some RTR cars a couple years ago, and they legit the spacers were probably an inch thick. On
I mean,
either
last
side.
thing on Matt, it's also just getting used to how the car transitions, just being ahead of it more than like waiting for
Yeah,
it to react.
you gotta start wheeling it before it
Ain't
starts
not
wheeling.
ain't no S chassis. It's not gonna transition itself. You gotta tell it to do things, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go based upon that. Bystrack is gonna win the seating bracket,
All right.
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
can't say it without smiling.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so great.
I
Hop's gonna get second. It's gonna be a Hop Bystrack final
you know,
battle.
you
Yeah.
know,
It's
I'm
gonna be
excited.
Hop's gonna send it
ex-
too hard last corner, and then Matt's gonna win.
fucking.
Yeah,
Honestly, if Hop
that's
fucking
realistic, you
if
know.
Hop jumped over Matt in the seating bracket, that would be the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
Would have just been right on par to what happens at the home track, just regular Hop stuff going on, and Bystrack just doing Bystrack things.
I mean, they just want to be
Taking the
like
dust
Mike
line.
Perez and Ricky Hoffman, okay?
Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to.
All right, so I've made it over to the actual bracket. We're not gonna go through all the battles. We're running low on time as it is.
Alan Boss in the top 32, dude. Mark, I should eat my words. I got a lot of them to eat.
Yeah, he's not only that, he's in I think he's 16th overall, right?
Yeah, he got top 16 last round.
Or no, he's 17th overall. Yeah, 17th overall.
Louise. Make me look like a fool, buddy. I hope you keep it up.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of walls to hit, so hopefully.
Well, I took one out.
Because he did do the rail slide last year, if you remember.
He did.
He did. The first wall, though. That one's gone now.
Yeah, so hopefully, I'm just hoping that car comes out in one piece, for the car's sake here.
No, I don't really care.
Since like I said, since we're low on time though, why don't we go ahead and pick some winners? Let's get a finals going, at least just to have some fun with this. And I really
can't
do
even see the
think
bracket. I gotta zoom, dude.
You gotta pull it up on Instagram.
Yeah, just pull it up on Instagram or Facebook or something. Oh, that's right. You probably are just stuck on your phone.
I'm on my phone, dude. And it's about to die.
So you got Cole Richards,
he's looking.
Colette,
Yeah, but
am I gone now?
Yeah, you're gone. But it's fine.
You're just black screen.
But we can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, cool. But
Hop should not run.
I think it's someone who's driven this course before. I think experience is actually really important at this track, because transitioning into that final corner, I think, is going to be really important.
Very important.
Can you see anything, Travis, in the chase?
Yeah.
When you're going in the
not
last
really.
corner? Yeah. Because it's a blind transition.
It's more like every transition's blind, dude. Because you leave outer zone 1.
Yeah.
And you have to, if you leave that zone with them, you're blind, and you have to trust that you're going to be where you're going to be. Otherwise, you end up on the inside in no man's land.
Yeah.
And get chopped off at outer zone 2. And then the same thing goes from into 3 to 4, because it's such a long sweeper that people will come and they'll leave outer zone 3 early, and they'll slowly transition across the track, so you're just blind the whole time. It's a problem with the fact that the track sets the chase car up for failure, because you want the transition to be done in the shortest amount of track length.
Yeah.
It's the same conundrum as the outer zone 1 to 2 at Utah. It's
Yeah.
such a stretched out long transition that everyone's always lost in the smoke. Versus
Yeah.
like if they can shorten, like if you can make the turn shorter and make it a more like prominent S to where cars are lock to lock in a shorter distance, then it takes the chase car out of the smoke faster. But like St. Louis, you're blind every single transition for way longer than what's necessary.
And the worst part about the transition is you're slowing down. It's a
So,
braking
Big-
area.
big-
they
big
don't want you.
detail.
They don't want you to do that though.
But
They
how do
tell
you
you that they want. They tell you that they want. So this is where I might be giving out a little bit of some secrets here, but like the way that you do it, and you have to hope that you don't get caught at St. Louis to go into outer zone 4, the last turn, is you have to, because everyone knows that when you transition in FD, you want to be on the gas all the way through the transition. You cannot slow until you change direction, because if you slow down and you're like on the handbrake, on the brakes, and then you snap the car around, then you're asking to get hit and the judges will call you out. And you don't do that. You don't scrub speed before you change direction. You always change direction to the next corner, and then you get on the brakes and then you fire through it. But if you want to gamble, if you're a gambling man at St. Louis, the only way to do it, to manage your speed correctly, is you have to either add a shit ton of angle at outer zone 3 to slow the car down and stay on the gas, or
Yep.
you have to slowly roll the throttle off, like coming through outer zone 3 on the gas, and you have to slowly just partial throttle it, because you have to slow the car down before you transition, otherwise you carry so much speed that you blow off into the grass. So you have to scrub it somehow without letting the judges find out. And if someone's right behind you and in the pocket where they're supposed to be, you could burn them and you could get called out. But if you want to gamble and you want to jab the handbrake a couple times or add a bunch of angle before you transition to scrub 10 miles an hour before you go into outer zone 4, that's like the best way to regulate it, because the track almost forces you to do that.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, I'm
to
just
do
saying
it that way,
in
you
the
get caught up, you're
yeah.
burnt.
And the thing is too, in the chase, how do you predict any of this?
You can't.
Yeah. You know, that's
You
always
can't.
been the
It's
crazy
all-
part.
it's just a mess. You just have to guess. Ideally, the chase car has to be, you want to be as close to the lead car as possible everywhere, because if they make a mistake or try to do that, you want it. I don't want to say that you have to cause a collision to win, but like,
Yeah.
if you're in the position to cause a collision when the lead car makes a mistake, you're better off, which sucks because like no one wants to crash their car. But if you force yourself into the pocket and you know where you can be, and that lead car messes up and then burns you and breaks your shit, you advance 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you almost have to be willing to do that here. Otherwise, like, if you give them enough room and you play it safe and you're like hanging back a couple cars stuck in the smoke, the lead car can do whatever they want and they're almost not going to get called out for it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to put pressure on them to do what the judges want them to do, which is almost impossible to do there because the track sucks. But you have to put the pressure on and force them to almost cause a collision with you to win.
Yeah.
Or it works out and you're so close that like close proximity gets you out of the smoke faster on a transition. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win for you. If you're close and they make a mistake and you crash, you win. If you're close, then it should be easier to chase because you're out of the smoke quicker.
Yeah. Are you so
So-
when you transition into that final corner, are you braking in the chase before you get through the smoke or after you get through the smoke?
Depends on how big of balls you got, I guess. Like, if you want to drive through it and hope you come out the other side, then cool. If you want to hang back and guess and transition a little
Yeah.
early and try to float your way in, the lead car could be ripping, and like you could be chasing someone who's an absolute hero and fires into 4 backwards with all the speed, and then you look like a goon because you're stuck on the inside and you played it safe and you're dragging the handbrake into no man's land.
Yeah.
So it's literally all a gamble, and you just have to like go by feel as you're driving.
So now I understand why you mean like it's all about luck at this track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the track layout forces you to do things that are unnatural for tandem drifting,
Yeah.
and it makes it crappy for the lead car and the chase car. Because
Yep.
as a lead car, I want to be able to like hang it out and drive the bro line and with angle on the gas. But even this track makes it to where it's hard to drive a smooth lead line.
Yeah.
It almost makes that impossible.
It's interesting.
But
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I definitely think, and I said this earlier, that the experience is going to be a big part in doing well at this track because you need to learn those things. You
Hmm.
need to learn your transition points, your, especially in the chase here because you are blind so much, and learning what drivers you can trust with and all that kind of stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming we're gonna have a good event out of Dimitri. He's probably the guy to beat, but Cole Richards is a guy that I think has been impressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's a guy that's in the finals this round as well.
Cole, Corey, like Corey has some pretty good. Like he's not afraid to throw it into a turn like hard and continue like
I mean, we know
following
Corey's
his
car is pretty
inertia.
fast, so it's like
It is fast. I mean, like Dustin doesn't drive bad here at all.
Dustin Miles usually does pretty good here, which is
I mean, he also always knocks out bias track, so he does always typically get kind of like a free card at the beginning, but that's okay.
oh man,
But I mean, this one's tough. Again, Travis puts it in a good perspective of just it's a gamble. This is
Yeah.
it's a luck round, especially like as we've progressed every year, they just add more things that just make it more of just a crapshoot every time that there's a battle out there. I mean,
yeah,
without this first wall that's going to be in place, it should hopefully help out a little bit again, back to the way it was. Um, and then we'll see what they do for the last zone because that J hook stuff was dumb.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Like,
caused a couple
This is the
crashes.
this
Yeah.
is the notorious track for like a top 32 lasts 5 hours,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it goes till like 1 a.m. in the 16 to finals for no. It's like a 6 hour 16 because you're
Yeah.
just like collision after one more time after
Yeah,
collision again, and you're just like, ugh.
Comp five. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
they're at fault. There's a 10-minute. Like, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Brother, Drift Masters was so nice. We did everything in
Bra-
2 hours.
Brandon said I was getting hot dogs.
Yeah, we're getting hot dogs. I'll bring you a hot dog.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm
Great.
gonna hope that you walk all the way out on track with your shorts on and bring me a hot dog.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then he
Yell
never
that.
see the light of
We get
day
banned.
on the FT track.
Never coming back again.
Banned.
Banned.
Oh,
The
B.
B.
but we are
I
almost
don't
at the
know.
2 hour mark. So before we do
Yeah,
outros,
I think
just give me a
there's-
winner.
Oh,
Give me a winner.
okay. I'm going. Can I give Can we give final? I think final's a little better.
Give me a finals then, pussy.
Okay, I'll give a code. I'm gonna throw wild cards. It's gonna be Cody Buchanan and Alex Jager in the finals.
Okay, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
you got faith in your boy, huh?
Yep, sure do. Sure do.
You gonna make that thing fast?
We'll figure it out. Okay, you don't need to know. All right.
Got a lot of
Figure
faith in a guy that hasn't paid for your flight yet.
it out. Joke's on you. Matt buys my flight, so there we go.
Well, I just a quick question. How are you liking that 370Z suspension? Is it
Oh, it's absolutely hot garbage, especially with no WiseFab. It's been hot garbage. It's even more hot garbage now that everyone else is on either WiseFab or FDF or SLR. So it's like a little bit better, or even it's better because right now we got a fucking stock rear and fucking PBM front. It's awesome. Love it. So many. You know what? I'm just gonna say something else. I'm not gonna say it because I will get in trouble for it. But just know the suspension's not great, and I'm not having fun with it. But we're making it work to the greatest extent that we can. So
Not for nothing, dude. That was the best
Not for
season you
nothing.
had in VDC.
all right, Travis. Outside of Ferris, who do you think's got the biggest balls here?
It's like I said, it's a crapshoot, but if I couldn't vote for my boy, I'm going with Hop, dude. If he can figure out the chases, his leads are always going to be on point like Jersey. So I'm just gonna go with that.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Cool. I think
Yeah.
Herbie, I can't remember what you said.
Oh, you want final two? Well,
Yeah.
I think Alex and Bystrike are gonna. If Bystrike makes it through the seeding, I think that Bystrike's going to end up being up against Alex
All
in the
right,
top
all right,
32,
homers. Okay, I get it. Okay, I still think
which I think would be awesome. It would be cool.
I think
That would be very good battle.
yeah.
But final, I honestly, I do think Alex will be in the finals here. I think that the last round was a good jump start back towards him.
Yeah.
And he can really show off all the angle with his PBM kit at the St. Louis. And then going up against him in the final,
Going Nicole,
Jared Johnson. Fuck
Jerry
no.
Johnson.
I mean,
you love
this
Cole
track
Richards.
is. I feel like this track benefits people that just don't care if they're gonna crash. So, I mean, I'm going with Cole Richards and Dmitry Bruschi just from the experience side of it. But like you said, it's gonna be an interesting event. To say I'm excited for it, I don't know about that. Just because it's St. Louis, and I don't know if there's anything to be excited about in St. Louis.
This is the first time I'm checking.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, the spotters tower is really nice, dude. I could hang out there.
on the roof.
That's the positive. No, you go in the little
No,
like
in the
the
inside.
trackside suites are super
Yeah.
nice.
All right.
I didn't know if you hung out on the roof. That's
Yeah.
because
Sometimes.
if you did, I was gonna say that's where Nate's gonna probably stick me, so then we could hang out.
Yeah, well, you're gonna. Well,
I'll
what
be-
you're gonna do is you're gonna take the hat off, and you're gonna be like a little sunbeam out there.
That is the opposite of what this Chrome Dome is doing up on the
You're
goddamn.
gonna blind the competition.
Your boy's gonna be showing up the next day looking bulbous with all the fucking blisters. Like, God, I'm like, shit, dude. Ain't no way. At least,
Oh.
I don't know. We get like a greenhouse. I don't know. What I can't. I need a hat.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done that. I've
But yeah,
painted one.
we have hit the 2 hour mark, guys. Thank you everyone for coming and checking out the stream. All right, guys, we got a little bit of everything now. I think Travis has got parts. We got Brandon with the sim stuff, and Herbie. I don't know what you have. Okay, I'll be honest. You have a good personality.
What do you
okay,
mean, dude?
No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
Got Herbie Media. What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. Duh. Obviously, he's the actual media guy here. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, this other guy doesn't do anything. He's just like the master, the ringleader.
I try
the
to hide in the
circus.
background, and then people
And-
make me not. But yeah, so Travis, what do you got going on with you, sir?
Dude, I'm just doing a little bit of everything. Trying to drive my A36 as much as possible. I do some off-road stuff. I don't know, dude. Just existing at the track as much as I can.
You doing the whole business thing, selling parts and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely doing a little bit of consulting and moving some parts. Obviously, link stuff. Coilovers through Fortune.
Nice.
SLR stuff. Just basically all the partners that I've worked with over the years. I try to move and wholesale some stuff off with that because I have a lot of experience setting stuff up and making a car successful with those parts. So I try to pawn them off on people that ask me what to buy all the time, and that helps me out obviously. So been doing that. Been trying to transfer a lot of those parts to like some off-road stuff, which is like been a fun experience. I got a bunch of my wheeler homies back home, all their trucks, all their Toyotas and Jeeps and whatever, all on link, whether they have a blower or a turbo or whatever on them. Got a couple guys out here repping that stuff, which is sick. So that's been kind of like taken off pretty well. Trying to dip into some side-by-side stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Trying to do a little bit of everything and be either at the track or at the woods or whatever with the boys.
Where can they
just having
find
fun.
all this info, and where can they get the stuff from you?
Oh, I mean, just I have my site, Travis Reader Motorsports. It's mainly just all the link stuff on there. And then just Travis Reader on Instagram. If someone wants to DM me with any questions, we can go from there, and I can be of assistance as best I can. But those are pretty much the two main avenues. So.
Hell yeah, awesome. Herbie,
Yep.
you got some exciting stuff going on.
I do.
I don't know what you can
It's
say,
official.
but I just know you're excited. So
I'm going back
yeah,
to Cali.
yeah. And
For,
you're gonna have a nice, and you're gonna have
for
a
a
nicer
livable
setup.
wage, I'm gonna be living inside. All these things. I have a car.
Telling you're not living in a trailer and breathing in race gas every night.
It was only for half of my stay.
I
It puts air on your chest.
bet it freaking does. I bet
It
it
probably
does.
also burnt some at the same time.
In the interiors of the chest for sure.
But shout out to those who are not familiar with the wonderful Last Standing, still one of the few Wizard of Photography Phase 2 Yogi, Mr. Daniel Kutanuch. I think that's how you say it.
Just call him Yogi and
Yogi. Fucking good old Yogi. Giving me the opportunity to have a place at Bear Cove Studio and be a full-time member of their production squad and use some proper equipment and hopefully make some fucking coin. And that starts on Sunday right after St. Louis. So this will be my first time checking my own luggage ever on a flight. I only ever just take a backpack and a fucking duffel bag, and I say, yeah, this will fit, as I stand there and absolutely punch it into the top overhead. So yeah, I'm very anxious, not in a sense of nervous. I mean, well, I guess like nervous because you never want to fail. You never want to fuck it up.
right.
But anxious to actually start something, actually have something to do. If not every day, more so just be surrounded by people that will work hard
Yep.
and not, I'm nothing against this area. Shout out to USA and military. I am not a part of the military. I have I'm past due.
Right.
They don't want me. I wasted that opportunity and I don't have anything to do here. So to be over in California, I got Kegel, Taylor, Tyler, like all the people over there. Hopefully, I could make some.
It's exciting, man.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped. And again, thank you, Yogi. Literally before the year started, like all I wanted to do was work with Nitto because and nothing against any other tire company, but like you see the results of Nitto tire brand time and time again, and this goes back to what I know we're past the 2-hour time, but at the beginning they want winners, and I like winners. Like it's true. Like you fucking at the time Nitto was on the podium at the beginning of the season. They were in the 40s of consistent podiums. Maybe not first, but they were up there. And I love GT Radio. I love Mike, but this was a goal that I had because of James Dean and LZ and those guys, and it ended up kind of happening. First off, with the opportunity with you, Nate, and then shooting for Yogi at these events, and then we actually were able to do a good enough job. Go figure, and they wanted more, so
It's exciting, man. I'm happy for you. It's like it's
Yeah.
one of those things
Likewise.
where I knew something was gonna fall your way eventually, and it to like actually like be such a cool gig is like that's awesome, man. I'm pumped for you.
Always cool
Yeah.
to see your buddies win,
Yeah, through all the off seasons of sitting there and you're just hammering alcohol down and questioning why you've made these life decisions, and it's like maybe I should just go back to a 9 to 5, and then you're like, nah, fuck that. You wake up in the morning like, nah, It's like, oh, we have $15. We can get 2 double cheeseburgers for $8.63. Actually, $6 if you play your cards right. So that's like 2 days of living right there, dude. I'm like, if you can't make more money in 2 days, then what the fuck are you doing? Crackheads fucking strive off of this shit.
Oh man, it's
Um,
awesome, man. And
So
yeah, we'll I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more on that in the future, and you're gonna be involved in some really cool stuff. So I'm pumped, man.
yeah, we won't. This is only temporary. The lava, so
Mm.
we're gonna be using. Well, we have new camera coming in hot. Production value on my end should be a little bit higher.
And yeah, and a
Yeah,
nice sim setup sounds like too.
I'm gonna show off in front of everybody. I'm gonna flex on
He's
you,
gonna jump
Yogi.
on this sim and he's gonna just suck.
I am 100%. To go from this to a proper one, it's gonna take a night. It's gonna take a night of okay, this is real life again. But thank you, Malachi. I appreciate it. Thank you all you guys that do actually, because like again too, if not for Nate, it wouldn't be for step one. If not for the stream, step two, and my dumb fucking bald head being everywhere. So
Yeah,
shout out to you guys. You know,
we did it.
yeah.
you
We
did
got
it.
this.
Did
Got
it,
this boy
dude.
some work. All right,
Oh,
Brandon.
yeah.
What are you doing outside of flooding your business at the moment?
Well, listen. It was a minor. I got a portable AC unit in my little shop, and the back likes to leak sometimes. And there's a little water incident, but it's all solved now. I found the plug, so it's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm building Sims. I guess things are working. I have to build one before what do you call it, St. Louis, before we head out there, because I have a delivery that Sunday and I come back, which is cool. Very blessed, very thankful for that sort of thing.
Stay
And
blessed.
yeah, hashtag blessed. Yeah, no, it's been good. Selling parts on boundlessracing.com through my great partners that all the wholesale stuff like Sim Magic, Advanced Sim Racing, cockpits, all that good stuff. Going to be doing more stuff, working with a very, very big company, another big company in the sim racing space. They're going to sell more parts, more things. So very happy with that. Yeah, it's just good to see things work and doing the thing. I have a contract with a company down south to build a few sims, which is cool. So that's been, a big sigh of relief, I guess. Like we got a contract for things. That's good. And been shaking hands and kissing babies. If you've ever heard that phrase, I don't know. Everyone's heard
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, we
Some
went.
people
Yeah.
look at me very weird when I say that phrase. It's like, guys,
Sorry,
you
it
gotta
doesn't exist.
get with it, dude. What are we doing here? But yeah, no, it's been good. We've been doing really cool things. I have help now. Not like on payroll or nothing, but someone comes and helps me like part time. Someone who likes the sim stuff, so that's cool. We're going to events still. I'll probably announce it either next week or the next, but I have a very, very cool event I'm going to in at the end of the month. And I'm like super pumped, and hopefully it's still in the works. That's why I'm not talking about it like in detail, but gonna be at an event with like crazy name, crazy people, and it's just crazy to think about.
It's weird,
It's
like things
working.
are going well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
awesome.
almost like when you work hard in the US of A, you keep on pushing, things work.
God bless America.
God bless.
Type shit. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like a year ago, I think like for all of us, I could say like a year ago, like today to now, night and day difference.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I I've always said too, like I mean, I'll be the first to admit that my biggest enemy is myself. I don't know business. I don't know how to market, and when it comes time to, I hate myself. It's just that, and that's every creator or anybody that is trying to start their own business probably goes through the same shit. So that's good. Honestly, fucking surpass your own expectations and, prove yourself wrong. So
Yeah, real shit right there. Real shit right there.
Everyone leveling up, evolving.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm going from a Magikarp to an actual Gyarados. I was just flopping water for a long time, yo.
He was just flopping around in there for a second.
Yeah, Herbie uses Splash. It was ineffective.
Hell yeah. Well, and again, I got to thank everyone in the chat that's been hanging out throughout the stream. This was a really fun stream. I want to thank Travis for coming on. He brought some really interesting points into like St. Louis that I just didn't know about, and I think it really adds to the discussion. So hopefully you guys like Travis, and I think he's going to be coming on a lot more when he can. Obviously he was in the middle of working on a car there, but he'll pop in and kind of give us some good driver insight and stuff, because he does a really good job at that as well, and obviously he drives himself. So excited to kind of.
She's just also a busy lady.
Well, yeah, Sara will come on when she can. It's just
when she can.
I thought it would be kind of cool to add on just another guy to have interesting perspectives, just because guess is always a tricky one. And then the reason I have kind of shied away from having guests, and we did kind of have one for this round, we'll probably have them on later, but like when we go and we cover like these Prospec rounds, or we go and cover a pro round, and we focus on that, I kind of feel bad because we're not really talking about the guests really. For a lot of that stream,
they probably don't even know who half of the Prospec guys are. Half
or if they're like, even if they're a driver and they're got to talk about good about all their competitors, like they don't want to really do that, So it's like I kind of feel bad having people like that on when we're talking about events and stuff specifically. We'll have a lot more guests in the winter and stuff. People are gonna have more time and whatnot. It's going to work out a lot better that way. So I'm kind of moving towards a more interesting panel. Not that the guys are on the panel aren't interesting, but just to have more voices, you know what I'm saying? So more conversation, more talking points, and once we get a more consistent like group of people coming on, I think it's going to be good for this part of the year, if that makes sense, because we are so busy, and it's easy to be busy on Tuesday now for any one of us, I feel like, with different projects.
I can't believe
it. So
who would have thought?
Right,
it.
So it'll be good. I'm excited to kind of see where this is continue growing. But again, thank you guys for checking out the stream. If you want to like, subscribe, it's always appreciated. Don't forget to check these guys out as well.
Shout out again, Joe, if you're still in here. You're a madman.
Shout out, Joe. Thank you
for the glizzy.
For the glizzies,
brother. We're gonna have some fun. Well, we got to do some fun stuff this winter on some silly streams. We'll do.
We should go to
ice drifting.
I was gonna say we should do a hockey stream.
Dude, sick. I'll talk all the shit. Although I kind of am mad at my team right now, so it is what it is.
That's fine. That's even better.
Yeah.
Be mad.
Yeah. It's been a tough like 6 months for me. Not gonna lie.
We'll get some hockey streams, dude. I'm gonna go to a Lakers
football
game.
Streams. You guys like football?
All right, yeah. Nah. I like the Ravens and the Eagles.
Yeah.
All right. I like football.
Yeah, most people do. You're not in the minority there. I feel like most people like football. I'm just not a football person.
Who do you
like? NFL, like the Bills.
I figured.
Watch more. I'm down south, so I'm big in the SEC. Love me some college ball. So big Georgia guy. Go Dogs! No, I ain't getting pissed about nothing but the Tide. No, fuck the Tide. Fuck the Tide. No.
Oh man, awesome! All right, we're actually gonna end this stream. We tried to end this 3 minutes ago. Travis is like, I'm out. I gotta do things.
The Irish goodbye does pretty hard.
Or his phone actually died.